microphone. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to some more Star Trek. One episode which is, well, put it this way. There are 2 episodes that are really good that we're watching today, and we're also watching Sub Rosa. Sub Rosa is a very important episode to the Star Trek canon.
They're Irish, right? That's what it is? It's Irish people?
They're not, it's not Space Island.
I thought they were Welsh. Wait, whatever.
They don't have a
South
single
America?
potato.
South Africa?
No. That was in season 1.
We're in India now, that's right, I'm sorry.
We're 1 minute in, we're already off the rails.
Look,
Where we are, we don't
you should
have
not take
rails.
this stream seriously. Just at no point.
Make sure to watch out for the Russian space ghost.
The Space Ghost played by First Minister Shakar.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He dated Kira, he dated Beverly, he dated Beverly's grandmother.
He gets around, son.
I don't know what people have against Fairhaven. What is wrong with Fairhaven? I mean, it's a little stereotypical, but it's a holodeck
I like
simulation.
Fairhaven.
I liked good with
Fairhaven.
Fairhaven.
Fairhaven's fun. It's a fun episode. And its follow-up, I don't remember what it was, but the one about the fairy people.
Huh?
I thought you were just on about the town in general, not like episodes.
There's the episode Fairhaven, and then there's the episode where the holodeck starts to break down and they start like seeing people interacting with the holodeck. So like how did Tom Paris like make that person disappear? What's going on? How did they make the rain go away?
They turned her into a
Magic.
cow.
It turned her into a cow. Which is really mean of him, actually, because, I mean, there are so few people on the ship. I mean, you kind of need a holographic girlfriend at that point if you're Harry Kim, so...
I mean, as the captain very well knows.
Yeah, don't turn Harry Kim's, like, actual girlfriend, even if she is a hologram, into a cow. It's very rude. Yeah, Spirit Folk, that was the name of it. It's a good episode. So yeah, the first one we're watching today is Sub Rosa, which is season 7, because of course it's season 7, they ran out of ideas. Episode 14. Season 7, episode 14. After that is going to be Voyager, Someone to Watch Over Me, and DS9, Looking for Parmok in All the Wrong Places. So yes, 2 really good ones in Sub Rosa. Should be good. So how's your days going?
Solid.
Frigid.
Bit dull, can't complain.
I've got some chicken marinating in the fridge, and I opened the fridge door.
What?
And now, what? I've got
Is
some
that a
chicken
euphemism,
marinating.
or what does that mean?
No, I just mean I made it
Oh,
marinate.
okay.
It has soy sauce and garlic and black pepper, cayenne pepper, and red pepper flakes, and it's marinating in the fridge. And after I open the fridge, now it smells like delicious chicken with marinade, and I'm really hungry.
Wow, I didn't realize you could marinate in the fridge. Shows how much I know.
Where do you
Sell
marinate?
flavored fridges. That's awesome.
What? I mean, you
assume
don't want to
it's-
marinate like raw chicken out on the counter. What are you doing?
I see the chicken's in a bowl, in the sauce, and in the fridge, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, mine's in a
Did you
Ziploc
cover
bag.
it?
Mine's in a
Yeah.
Ziploc bag.
Okay, but it's still okay.
Chef Excellence is wondering if we're going to eventually end up watching Sub Rosa twice.
Yes, eventually.
Yes.
By the way,
Preferably more.
speaking of watching things twice, triangle ships in this stream do not count because this is a separate thing. We don't want to double count triangle ships when we watch the
Remember.
real episodes.
This is what they call a one-off.
Yes.
I mean, we could just do that where every night we just watch Sub Rosa and Threshold.
And First Contact.
You can.
No,
watch
First
Sub Rosa,
Contact is
that's
actually
never
good.
I mean, Thresholds was good for the first 30 minutes.
great. Yeah, it's kind of a fun idea.
Yeah.
Until the salamanders show up.
Until the Salamanders.
And that episode where
No,
TNG where
pepperoni.
everyone unevolves.
Genesis with Caveman Riker and there's actually a
God.
really
Oh.
horrifying scene. Do you guys remember the scene where prehistoric Worf blasts acid into the Doctor's face?
Oh yeah.
And Gates McFadden gives a genuinely horrifying shriek of pain in that. It's actually disturbing.
Awesome.
All right, 30 seconds till we start. Sub Rosa, season 7, episode 14. Did I say 14? Yeah. Evan, be queued up. 20 seconds.
Subpar.
That's right, Evan. Be queued up.
You
Yeah,
picked this
Evan.
for
Who's Evan?
This is a Halloween episode.
What do you mean? It's a romance. It's so romantic.
It's a ghost story.
It's a spooky
Hang
romance.
on,
Oh,
everyone
it
press
comes
play
back to
in
life.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
It's obviously both a Halloween and
It's a
Valentine's
spooky
episode.
romance. We'll rewatch it again on Halloween. We'll watch Sub Rosa 3 times.
Oh God.
Keep watching it over and over again.
Oh god, were we doing watch-along streams in October? I think so. Hang on, let me check the playlist. When did we actually start doing this?
sure
Or
we
when did I
were.
start doing this? You guys didn't show up at the very start when no one was aware of it.
You didn't
How
have
dare
a
you.
Discord.
I didn't even have a Discord, yeah.
I
showed
was in
up
the Star
pretty
Trek
early.
meetup group, and we did a set of Halloween. There's like some spooky original series episodes too, like with ghosts and stuff.
Yeah, I remember I was playing some Oblivion on Halloween. I was doing a spooky playthrough. Very spooky.
Guys.
Let's see, view watch along playlist. Episode 1. Yeah, August 2020 is when this started.
Wow.
August 2020. So yeah, it's going to take us a little while to get through all the series. There he is. That was Shakar. The First Minister. Yeah, everyone on this colony, they are weebs for Scotland. I don't know if there's a separate word for that. But how people who are obsessed with anime feel about Japan is how these people feel about Scotland. It's just too much.
Skip
show
episode in
it.
3, 2.
No,
The
do
whole-
not skip episode. Well, of course don't skip episode, but don't skip intro. Now, of course, as this ring planet goes by, watch the stars between the ring and the planet compared to the stars in the background. Right
I
here.
can't believe nobody else noticed that. That was so weird.
I can't not notice
I've
it.
always noticed that.
Oh, there
Yeah,
were a
I,
ton
I-
of
noticed
I'm,
that
I'm
too.
with I'm with Ryan. I didn't notice it until it was pointed out in this stream, and I can't unsee it now.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of people who reacted when I pointed that out. I'm like, it's so painfully obvious. Ah, it makes me angry.
Joe's been off the air for like 30 years, and we're still noticing things. I love that.
I think I first noticed with the HD whatever.
Exactly. That's what really points
Oh
it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
I've seen it so much now that it's just like part of the intro. The intro would feel wrong if it wasn't that wrong, you know?
Okay. Because
The
this
intro
episode
must
is
be-
directed by Jonathan Frakes. Thank you, Jonathan, for this wonderful piece of writing. I know you didn't write it, but you didn't say anything about the awful writing, so we're blaming you. Thanks, Jonathan.
It was
How do
the
you know he didn't
final,
say anything?
Series episode he directed.
Because this exists, that's how.
He went out on a high.
Yeah, I think in TV, directors don't have nearly as much power over the script as they do in a movie.
Maybe he specifically took on directing so he could fix as much as he could. And it would have been even worse without.
I know some people who direct television, and they say the number one asset is speed. If you can work quickly, you will get hired a lot.
So do we
So-
need like the Snyder cut of this episode?
I was looking. Oh, also look at the graves in the background.
The
We just
Frakes
saw one
cut.
that said McFly. I think there's also one that says Vader. All the gravestones have references on them.
No, there is, yeah.
But I was looking at her grandmother's grave. It looks like there's not nearly enough dirt to fill it in on the sides. I don't know where they put it all. Yeah, there's McFly in the middle. I can't read the other ones from here. Oh, on the
Yeah,
right, what's
there's a
that?
Vader.
Chow?
Cha. We
Chewbacca.
can only see half of it.
Yeah. On the left was Vader, and then to its right was McFly, just as Picard walked past there.
This guy kind of
We get
reminds
a
me
better
with the
shot of it
Tellarite,
later.
mostly because of his nose. He's not a Tellarite, but he reminds me of one. Directed by Jonathan Frakes. There it is. Yeah, these people are totally weeps for Scotland. Look at that ancient traditional Scottish attire.
I'm sorry, but there's not a single iron brew in sight. This is not Scotland.
Not a haggis in sight.
Nope.
They brought bricks from Edinburgh just for
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
Butter, yes.
Edinburgh.
Ugh.
Edinburgh.
No, excuse me. Herr Deutschland, do you say München or Munich?
It depends on if you're speaking German or English.
Okay.
Same thing with Cologne, because if you're speaking German, you'll say Köln. If you're speaking English, you say Cologne. Everyone who lives in Germany
wow.
understands to switch back and forth.
Yes.
That's awesome.
All right, is the candle here? Where's the candle? That you didn't light.
Then I light that candle.
Why not?
It'll bring the ghost.
Bring the ghost.
And the Bechdel test out of the way right away here.
Yes. God, this is such a good episode.
Yeah, very.
Is that like a Beauty and the Beast rose case that Deanna just sat next to? Oh, I noticed that Beverly's wearing the old style uniform there. That's a good attention to detail. Brighter blue, no collar. That's sort of what I was talking about when I kind of want to make this is actually the best episode ever, and here's why. It's that attention to
Or
detail.
it's the dress uniform. It's not the old uniform.
By the way, that green eyes comment means that this ghost has been with every person in this generation.
Oh, there's the candle.
Oh,
It's lit. It'll bring the ghost. Yeah, look at that rose thing. It's not a rose there, but... The Howard clan? Who says clan? Beverly. Of course it was ghost stories. So yeah, the fact that the grandmother told ghost stories, were they stories about Ronin? Or were they just like general ghost stories? Spooky stories?
I mean, they can't have been. She was a kid.
I don't think that would stop the ghost. He's a spooky ghost.
Lots of layers here.
He's 1,000 times your age.
God, I thought the relationship that Patrick Stewart has with his wife half his age is weird. No, this guy's like thousands. Oh, there's another attention to detail. That journal actually does say what they quoted as saying. It's all written down. It functions as a
nice.
script. It's even signed, I think.
That's just good Frakes television filmmaking here. Sure, two
Now,
takes.
I don't know why Old Crusher or Old Howard, I guess. Oh no. Why does she have so much like stuff hung up on the house, plants and stuff? Is she growing garlic? Oh no. He blew out the candle.
Oh god.
Why does the ghost actually need the candle to be lit? Why does that matter? Also, what's its fuel source? Do people refill the candle with like candle oil? Jeez.
Plasma,
E-
blah blah blah.
Even the subtitles have a Scottish accent.
See, with all
It's-
the questions, it's a good episode. It makes you think, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I can't find a lot of information. Did they build all these sets? These have to be reused from like a Hallmark movie or something, right?
They've got it. And yeah, that looks like an actual house. Did you just swear
what-
on my Star Trek?
Did they do this all on location? I guess. I mean,
Let me. Did they actually
You're
go to
gonna be-
Scotland?
You're gonna be really upset with the first episode of season 6 of Deep Space Nine.
Which one is that again?
That's where Nog starts just cursing like constantly.
Okay.
I can't get the damn
Hitman.
gyro to
Oh.
stabilize the damn
The thruster
whatever.
array.
Yeah, that thing.
The
Like,
accursed
yeah, that'll
thruster
explode.
array, thank you.
Damn is not much of a curse word in the UK, like at all.
It's
It's not much
considered
of one in
mild,
the
but
US
it's still
either.
definitely a swear.
Mm,
For Ryan's.
It's not like shit, which is definitely has a differential between the US and UK.
Darn
Why-
you, I hate you double hockey sticks.
hey.
Why is the mayor of Whoville on the ship right now, analyzing the weather system?
oh,
Cannot
Wow.
unsee.
nailed it.
Seriously though, why is he here?
No.
They're like
Why-
trying to
why
fix
wouldn't
his
they just be
systems or
reporting?
whatever.
Yeah, but why does he have to be on the ship to do that? Surely they would look into it and get back to him, like give him a call, send him an email. Why is he here? Oh
He
no,
wants a
not the
tour.
caber toss.
You're right, they are Scottish weeps.
Yeah, caber tosses. Yeah, wow.
He
Ew.
says lover. Oh, I hate lover so much.
100 years old.
My
No,
love.
we don't
on
need
my
to talk
Star
about the vigorous libidos of 100-year-old grandmothers.
Yes, I do. It's the Valentine's Day
That's what I
episode.
want for my Star Trek is discussion of elderly lust. Jesus Christ.
Jesus. Who wrote this? Who is the writer for this? Who did it? Let me look. Sub Rosa. Teleplay by Brannon Braga. Brannon Braga wrote this.
What does it say when he was executed?
Story by Jerry Taylor. Teleplay by Brannon Braga.
So this was one of the showrunners?
Yeah, this was one
Yeah.
of the main guys for
Interesting.
like a bunch of shows. What happened here? What happened, Brannon?
I feel like Frakes should have put a stop to this at some point.
Brandon, have you ever talked to a woman before?
He needs help.
Swear to God, I'm gay and I understand women better than this.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google this guy and find out why he's in jail.
She fell asleep reading a particularly erotic chapter of her grandmother's diary.
Oh god.
That's not me making that up, that's a line. Oh, the candle's lighting itself.
So it doesn't matter whether she lights it or not. If it lights itself,
Oh, Jesus.
Fine,
It's
can
a
we get a break
spooky
after
ghost.
this episode so we can all take showers?
Oh, by the way, faint signal. You need to leave after that pun.
Grog about. No. Why are you sharing this information? I never got the
Signal, you get a
impression that
medal for
Beverly
that
and Troy
pun.
were this close.
Ah!
Is this how women talk?
Oh, this.
I mean, I've talked to a fair few women and none of them have talked like this, but I mean, I haven't talked to all women. Maybe some women talk like this.
Should I be taking notes?
Ah, the sensations were very real and extreme. I'm sorry, what?
This is very uncomfortable.
This is not. These are not words people use.
Now, I don't object to her like having these kinds of dream. That's fine. That's something that can happen. But why? One, why is she sharing this with Troy in such detail? And two, why is it inspired by her grandmother's erotic journal?
And why are we
Why is
watching
that-
it?
Why is that the premise here? God, just
Star Trek writers were like, this story needs to be told.
like if she just found some random journal of someone she didn't know, I could at least understand that it's weird, but whatever. But if it's her grandmother.
Once they're dead, it's okay.
Going to visit Nana. Oh no, it's Ned. How's it going, Ned? I mean, it would probably help if the counselor on the ship wasn't encouraging her. I would say she should go talk to a counselor about this, but that's not going to help. What, so you're just putting him out on the street until you're not there to see his stupid face anymore? Beverly?
No, haunted.
Haunted. Believe what's your love glass.
Oh god.
It's his
I
home.
think Fat Bastard was a more nuanced performance.
Is he even bringing the storms? Do we establish later that this is actually Ronan's fault?
Yes, yes.
I know he zaps the Whoville guy. Or no, he zaps Ned. I don't know if he was the root cause.
Did he go to the house?
Let me look up the actor. Shay Duffin. Let me just verify that. Okay, so Shay Duffin is not Scottish, he's Irish.
Oh
That's
boy!
it.
And
I
as we've
knew they were the
established,
same
they're the
thing.
same thing.
Extra layer of
That's not-
cringe. Good
Yeah,
times.
that's not confusing at all. Thanks.
Could we? Were no Scottish people available? Also, I really like the green lightning here. It's very appropriate to the theme of Ronan's candle and his like life force being green, his ghost form.
Maybe it's like the BBC. There are like 10 comedians, so maybe there are like 2 Scottish actors.
Is that just
They were just
Earth with a
focused.
green filter applied? Of cumulonimbus activity, good. Data, you could just say it's cloudy. Yeah, it's so green. Look at how green it is here.
And that's nothing
Also-
no one would mention? The green lightning?
Yeah, maybe that's normal here.
And
Yeah,
your
that's
houses
really
being
creepy.
covered in roses. That's totally normal too.
If you're trying to like, what's the word? Look, I can't think of the exact phrase. If you're trying to get someone on side, if you're trying to get someone to like you, do not break into their house and just leave stuff all over the floor. Even if it's flowers. Don't break
All
into
right.
their house.
Let me write that down.
About to say, I think I need to start taking some notes.
Is this a scam? Like, did Brendan Braga just want to take his family on vacation to Scotland or something, and was his way of paying for it?
That's very possible.
I read
Or like a joke?
and
Like just
it
to
might
see
have
what he
been
could
on
get
Memory
paid?
Alpha. I read that they were actually proud of this for being an episode that catered to women because it's a romance.
Oh god, that's
Brendan
painful.
Braga's idea of women, maybe.
Oh no, it's a spooky ghost.
At least it's not that scene with them both in their workout gear.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get to that in a minute.
Oh, the worst Bechtel failure in all of Star Trek.
Ronan, why are you using that tone of voice? Why are you... I mean, I know why, but why? You're doing like ASMR ghost sounds. I would not make a D&D game out of this. But also good, like your son.
Did you just mention Wesley in the middle of this travesty?
Yes. And Wesley said, I feel strange but also good. And right now, Beverly feels strange but also good. It's like poetry. It rhymes. Season 1, Season 7.
I'm very uncomfortable with this conversation.
He is a spirit. How come the ghost isn't Scottish?
Because he's Bajoran.
True. No, he was born in Glasgow on Earth. And he lives in Space Scotland. Why isn't he Scottish? Could the Shakar actor not do a Scottish accent?
I feel like that's the reason.
He just said last, so he's apparently supposed to be Scottish.
Anyone ever see Hitchcock's
Definitely.
movie Rebecca? This reminds me of that for some reason. Like a woman in a haunted house.
I mean, generally it's frowned upon. Like, if you date some woman, it's generally frowned upon to date their daughter as well.
What? No.
It's not really a thing.
Write that down.
The rules don't apply when you're a Scottish space ghost.
Yeah, I guess this stream is just going to be rules for dating. Step 1, don't break into their house. Step 2, don't date their daughter. Step 3, don't date a ghost. Especially not a spooky ghost.
Hi, Bev.
Yeah, she never wears this outfit. This is just her... This is her post-YouTube friendly contact dress. She never wears it normally. Well, she isn't seeing him exactly.
Yes.
She saw him once. It's very unclear to me throughout the episode if Beverly is actually getting seduced by this ghost, or if it's some kind of telepathic manipulation. I don't know what the deal is.
I'll say that's part of the point, but I'm not sure what the point of this episode is, so I can't say.
It's to appeal to the
Well.
women market.
Okay.
Yeah, appeal to the women market. 5 episodes before the season ends. Or 12, whatever.
Thankfully, the TNG movies weren't just big, stupid action movies and really tried to appeal to the female demo also.
Yeah, I guess we can kind of look at this guy like a succubus. That makes some sense. Sucking out someone's life force by seducing them.
To seriously answer the question, though, I feel like it is more of like a supernatural thing that Ronan can do, because I just don't think Beverly would fall for this.
It's very out of character for her, especially when she leaves Starfleet in a few minutes. It's not her. This isn't you, Bev.
Bev.
Why? Jesus, this guy looks like he's about to die. Okay, he is What was that sneeze? He didn't
Shoo!
sneeze, he just said shoo. Okay, this is a legitimately good line. Everyone wait for the Riker line. Thank you, Jonathan. Just sort of rolled in on us, sir. Oh, and there's Lieutenant J in the background behind Frakes.
Lost gravity. We never get to see it, but it happened.
It happened. Now, why is Ronan doing this? Why does he want to sabotage the ship at all? Why does he care? It seems like it would be in his best interest to just keep going on with Beverly.
If they can't shut down the power transfer, but you can't just fly away. Surely there's a limit on how far it can reach.
Yeah, they could just, like, physically disconnect the circuit going to the warp core. From the warp core to the power transfer.
Hard to take him seriously with that hat.
Do not fix that circuit. It'll bring the ghost. Oh, poor Ned. Yeah, how did he get here? How is he on the ship?
No, this is the weather station. They're on the planet now.
Oh, okay.
Ed is dead.
Yes, the episode where Beverly finds true love. That's exactly it. With the spooky ghost. Weather ComNet. 212.2. I don't think that means anything. Thermal regulation, storm tracking. Climatic flow. No, nothing too interesting on that display. Now I've got a candle. Maybe in solidarity for the episode, I should go light my candle. I'd have to get up and go get it.
Don't light that candle.
Why not?
It'll be cheesy.
But I could fill my room with a nice vanilla scent.
Or a ghost.
Or a spooky ghost. Either
Right,
vanilla or a
Anaphage
ghost.
is tech speak for ghost.
A spooky vanilla ghost.
So how do you guys feel about scented candles? Do you have a favorite scent for candles?
Leatherberry.
What berry?
Leatherberry.
Okay.
It's not a real berry. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of like a
Does it
it's
just
like a
smell leather?
leathery, but more with sort of a fruit tinge to it. Yeah.
With berry notes. With
Yeah,
berry
very-
undertones.
You know your candles better than I do. There you go.
It seems like he's forming some kind of addiction. Some kind of addiction to the ghost. It looks like she's having withdrawal symptoms here when she's away from him.
I am not left-handed.
You're not left-handed? What?
Sorry.
What? What? Oh, there he is.
Old habit of shoehorning that particular Princess Bride reference into anytime someone says
Oh,
something I have
gotcha.
to tell you or something something similar.
I do not like
That's
where
a
this is
solid
going.
Um, they describe Ronan as being in his 30s. Is that actor in his 30s? Because I probably put him closer to like at 40.
yeah, I think probably early 40s.
Yeah. I can look him up. Let's see. DS9 Shakar actor.
You
Don't
can
I
be
guess
in
it was
there.
like-
Breaker.
Enough of a soap opera that they didn't want like literally a soap opera. 30-year-old.
He was born in October of 1952.
And this episode aired in
Scared.
94.
Okay.
So he is
44.
42 years old. 42.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Yeah. I mean, either way, he did the job of being like
Yeah.
a space creep.
Yeah.
Did a
He
really
can
good
look however old he wants. He's a spooky ghost.
job. Oh, but did we go? Sorry, I'm late. Nice to see you all.
Hi.
Did we go over the fact? Hey, felon, did we go over the fact that they said that they brought this town over from Scotland brick by brick?
No, one
Yeah.
Briefly.
Touched on it.
brick
The
from
cornerstone
each building
of
was
every
brought.
building has a
Yeah,
brick.
yeah.
Oh, geez,
That's
was that a
pretty-
plasma torch? That was not just a regular lighter. That had like a beam of fire coming out.
That's like a phaser or something.
What just happened, Beverly?
Jesus.
I
No,
guess
no,
she
no,
has those masks in the background under
in
the
this
light, by the way,
episode.
because she likes acting. Beverly does. She does some acting with Riker and with what's his name? Barkley.
Broccoli.
Yeah, see, withdrawal symptoms, and now he's here and she feels
Yeah,
much
yeah,
better.
you're right.
This cold will remember my grandmother's.
You know, I guess I'm just a terrible man because no one has ever had withdrawal symptoms, physical withdrawal symptoms, when they were away from me. I guess I need to try harder.
Or just become a drug dealer too.
Just become a drug dealer, yes. Much easier.
And I can't live without you and the drugs.
Hey, I get the shakes when I'm away from the show.
They keep reusing the same shot. What? Every single scene transition is that one shot of the Enterprise in orbit. It's not
You
even
think they realized when
geosynchronous.
they were writing this season just how out of ideas they were?
Yeah.
It's like,
There are some really good episodes this season,
Could
and
they
then there's
tell?
also Sub Rosa.
right. But it's not just Sub Rosa. The
Yeah.
masks one is weird, and yeah.
The one with the sentient holodeck is weird. It's fun,
Below Decks.
but it's weird.
Below Decks is an episode I like a lot, but it's obviously like a hey, let's try this kind of episode. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's
that's fair.
fine. I mean, it's not like
I
that
like
means they're
work
reaching for ideas, not out of ideas, right?
Yeah, it works sometimes. Like when you're forced to try new things because you're out of ideas, sometimes you find good things. But yeah, this is not one of those situations.
Yeah.
Opinions.
So yeah, Beverly leaving Starfleet here, definitely out of character. Definitely got to be some kind of manipulation other than just like talking to her. Messing with
Yeah,
her
there's
brain.
no way. There's no way she would just up and out like that.
Yeah, Pegasus from this season is amazing. Gambit is really good, the two-parter. And of course, the series finale is excellent.
Oh yeah.
That's true. Gambit was pretty good, and then I guess this
Some
was one
sort
of
of
the best.
influence.
Yeah. No, I think this is the rare show that lasted exactly as long as it should have. Like
Yes.
any longer and it would have been really bad.
They would have gone back to season 1 tier scripts.
Yeah, exactly.
I quite like Thine Own Self. You know, where Data loses memory in the town.
Yeah, that one's fun.
Oh, that
He is
one's
an
really
Iceman.
interesting.
That's a good one.
They go into the 4 elements like earth, wind, water, and fire.
Yeah.
That's where I learned it from. That TNG episode.
The rock in this wood can be felt by its weight and hardness. When you set fire to the wood, you can see smoke, which is part of the air.
Right.
Water is hard to find, but it is there.
And I can get where she's coming from. She's wrong.
You know what?
but
It
I get
makes
it.
complete sense. That's what I was gonna say. Like, you know, it has a hard element. It has an airy element.
Yeah.
You would understand that once you add fire, it would return it to air. People use that for like thousands of years.
And I mean, she could like transition that metaphorical element thing to be like a knowledge of the phases of matter, states of matter. It's a solid piece of wood, or it's a gaseous piece of wood when you set it on fire and it goes in smoke.
Matter, energy, latent in the matter that's been released in the form of smoke and charcoal carbon.
Also, that lady, when she was actually presented evidence of how things physically work, she totally accepted it. When Data built his microscope,
did.
it's like, yeah, nope, guess I was wrong about this. That makes sense. Thank you, Data.
See, I think like when I was watching this at 14, the second you tell me that like this thing was with your grandmother, that should like immediately tell you that okay, that's a game over. Because I really don't want to be with anyone.
We're nearly merged now.
Merged.
But
We will flourish as one. Is he the Borg? Is that why it's green?
when the grandma comes back out of the coffin, that was just like ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're not Nana.
Nana's dead. We're ragging on the episode so much, but we remember so much of it too. It's
You
not
guys are
forgettable.
I totally forgot about the Nana coming out of her coffin part. But
And she phasers Nana. Is that what happened? No, she doesn't phase her. She yells at her, and Nana just flops over dead again. Yeah, Patrick Stewart walking in on Beverly, just kind of enjoying herself. Let's leave it at that.
yeah,
YouTube friendly enjoyments.
I wonder how many times they've rejected this script before they finally said
Not
"All
enough
right,
times.
well." Yeah, not really. Because I think the actress herself is kind of like, because see, here's the thing, in the Naked Now, there's this one line in there that I always kind of think is like pretty not good for the actress, but she goes like, my husband died and I need a man, and she's all like hot and heavy over Jean-Luc, and I think we don't see her like that again, but here again, she is just like I don't want to use the word sex kitten, but she's just like acting so. I mean, it's a soap opera episode. Really.
It's a story about a woman being manipulated sexually, which is uncomfortable and weird and misogynistic, maybe depending on where your points are. So yeah, no, absolutely, and like you're absolutely right. Like that part in Naked Now rings of that also, which is women basically being easily manipulated in need of sex, and it's like.
I find it interesting that other people actually can see Ronan, and it's not just like not a figment of her imagination, but something that's special to the Howard family. It's like, no, he's actually there.
Because it takes a lot of energy for him to assume corporeal form.
Yeah.
Or, if you go another direction with the episode and it's all just like something in her head, that would be a whole other direction too.
This whole episode is a dream after she fell asleep reading a particularly erotic chapter of her grandmother's journal. Everything's a dream.
That's a perfect. That gives me closure as to how this made it into the canon. I mean, look, it is sci-fi, so it's like that's why we've given a lot of other things credulity. So, we had that Jack the Ripper thing in the original series, which I think was like extremely fascinating and like really great writing. There's this like it's part of the category of Star Trek. It's an entry in the Star Trek Encyclopedia too. Non-corporeal entities.
He was a stowaway. Look, we've already established he's a spooky ghost. Why are we like confronting him on the fact that he's not a real person?
Picard didn't know he was a spooky ghost.
Okay.
Now he knows he's a spooky ghost.
He knew something was up, but
Why can't they exhume the body exactly? I mean, she doesn't have the candle in there.
for some reason she has ghost energy in the body. I don't know.
Residual ghost energy. But I mean, we have Ned's corpse, and he had lots of ghost energy from being zapped.
True.
But he wasn't a main character.
True. He's not even Scottish.
In New York, there's a museum called the Cloisters. They took a monastery from Italy, brick by brick, and it looks like, and it's all cloisters because they keep nuns cloistered or like sequestered or segregated away from the rest of the population. Even when their family meets, they meet them behind like a screen or a curtain. because they're like separate cloistered nuns. So they took their whole monastery and they made it into a museum that's part of the Museum of Metropolitan Art.
Oh, that's a really
but,
convenient way to exhume a corpse. You just beam it out.
It's a very clean coffin.
Wow. I mean, they didn't beam any of the dirt away. It seems like you
It's
guys
only
like
been-
that.
Only been 3
Wouldn't the
days
dirt
or so,
like
right?
fall?
Yeah, the dirt should probably fall, but hey, it's good enough.
Data digs like a boss.
Residual anaphasic energy. Okay, so they did find anaphasic energy in the dead guy. Oh. Green eyes, evil grandma.
Yeah, this is pretty horrifying and morbid. I'm not comfortable watching it twice. Like,
You're not Nana.
it's kind of.
The,
You okay,
the
Gates?
meatball lady from Wedding Singer, the movie The Wedding Singer.
Now you'll see both graves.
Okay, dating tip number 4. Do not use your girlfriend's dead grandmother as a meat puppet. Yeah, there's Vader on the left, you can see. Vader on the
Is
left.
meat
McFly on the
puppet
right.
one?
Yeah, McFly. Yeah.
Is meat puppet one word or two?
It's hyphenated.
Okay.
Wait, so don't use. Got it.
Don't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
do not use your girlfriend's dead grandmother as a meat puppet. Some sort of anaphasic life form.
This is totally inappropriate to watch Valentine's Day.
What do you
But,
mean?
I don't know.
It's a
'Cause
romance.
if that's the rule, then why would you watch that on Valentine's Day?
This episode was specifically designed to be a romance. They just failed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think at 14, I was just like, once you give me the grandmother part, the whole episode loses credulity. So the fact that she's like really happy with him is like, all right, well, yes, she's allowed to be happy.
So, did that used to just be a normal candle, or does this entire society travel in candles? Because there's got to be
And she
more
phases-
anaphasic life forms.
And by the way, she lectures about it like she knows exactly what they are. Like she scientifically declares, like, no,
Yeah.
you're an anaphasic life form.
They had
They
anaphasic life
need
form
another-
class in the academy.
They need a host to survive. It's like, well, what works as a host? Can you get it off of a piece of a, crab or salamander?
Wait, do you guys remember the episode Twilight from Enterprise, the one where there's the alternate future of Earth being destroyed? And they have to, like, they failed to stop the Zindi. The premise of that episode is Archer has some life forms in his brain that are messing with his memory. Were those anaphasic? Star Trek, anaphasic
Zaps him.
life form. Let's see if Memory Alpha says anything else about this.
Why does he keep corporeal form? He can like become a ghost, and then he presumably couldn't get
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
Apparently, phasers work on spooky ghosts.
I think they just call them subspace parasites. I don't know. if they
Subspace
say-
parasites? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Memory Alpha only listed Ronin as an anaphasic life form. So I guess Picard did the thing where it's like, I can't rescind your resignation because I never submitted it. You're back in.
I think. Never mind. It's a silly pop psychology quiz.
I mean, I guess you can't
Their
really
eyes-
blame Ronin because he literally had to do this to survive.
Right.
If he didn't,
had
he
to
was gonna
sacrifice.
Yeah.
But why did he prey upon like women though? Like he could. He was just. I don't want to,
This is like what would happen if the Trill were not cool being hosts. They would just like worm their way into people.
just like the green eyes. He was just. He thought they were beautiful, so he just. Like. Went after every generation.
Executive producer Rick Berman. Thank you, Rick. I am sure you have also talked to a woman before in your life.
I'm really not sure.
All right. So the next episode, we're not going to start it immediately, but the next episode is going to be Someone to Watch Over Me. That's a Voyager episode, season 5, episode 22. Star Trek Voyager, season 5, episode 22. Everyone get queued up for that. Or on Amazon, it's listed as 21.
We say it's 21 on Netflix.
The point is,
I
someone
put
to
a
watch
link
over me.
to
Someone to
episodes.
watch over me.
I'll put a link in the Discord chat linking to Memory Alpha, the interspatial parasites that Archer had.
Okay. So yeah,
They
they're
kind of
different
dance
things.
around the same wording, but yeah, they're not the same thing, technically.
Okay. So we'll do a 2-minute countdown to let everyone switch over, get the appropriate episode.
What season?
Switch- Season
Five.
5, episode 21.
Why was Voyager's first season so short?
See, I'm getting 22 off of that. I guess it depends on what you're pulling it from.
The episode that's titled Someone to Watch Over Me, regardless of what episode number it is. Everyone queue up. Is that a dog?
I'm sorry, that's my dog yelled. Set my mic down.
Camera starts on Tam Harris in this episode. Here, looking. Oh, sorry, we didn't start.
No, not yet. Tom Paris is directing this episode, which is fun. Robert Duncan McNeil.
Oh, we had a I think Jonathan Frakes directed that last episode, by the way.
Yes, he did.
I mentioned prior to the roll that Frakes directed the TNG episode. Tom Paris, Robert Duncan McNeil directed this one, and the DS9 episode is actually the only one that was directed by Andrew Robinson, who plays Garrick.
Oh wow!
And now
was
we have to
brilliant.
see if Brannon can redeem himself on this one.
Did he write this?
He did it along with Michael
That was
Taylor.
brilliant of the three.
Okay, this is actually a good episode, so I guess good for you, Brannon. 30 seconds
He
to
spoke
start.
to a woman.
30 seconds. Season 5, episode 21 of Voyager. Someone to watch over me. Yes, he is. Between TNG and this episode, he did speak to a woman. Good for him.
It took him 5 years, but he spoke to a woman 1 week before this episode.
10 seconds. Everyone be
was
queued
it
up to
a
0.
judge? Was it
Do
a
you
judge?
have feelings?
Everyone press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, just jumping right into it.
Robert
Into a
Duncan
burrito
McNeil.
stand.
Open
That'll
on
be a
shot
reference
of
to
me.
Fairhaven. Holodeck sim. Also, a 69 Mustang doesn't have like some weird neural interface where you just press a button, it just does what you want.
By the way, if Neelix is making cheese, I'm not eating it.
What if you take the cheese to sickbay?
I'll eat anything else he makes.
They don't approve of spices. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, I've got my delicious chicken marinade going. It has a lot of spices in there. Make a terrible Cotty. Frankly, I think cayenne pepper is probably the best spice. Other than the basic salt and black pepper. You know, you gotta have that on basically everything. But after that, cayenne, for sure. Garlic's pretty good, but not good enough. Okay, rule 5 of dating someone, don't stalk them. Don't follow them to their homes and record what they do.
Just don't stalk other people in relationships.
Yeah.
Or in general.
Yeah, just don't stalk anyone. Like, don't stalk me, preferably. I know I'm very famous now, but...
The channel keeps growing, man. I mean, come on.
The Star
slowly
Trek
but
trivia.
surely.
is noting the star date they fought.
For St. Patrick's Day, yeah, maybe we can watch Up the Long Ladder. St. Patrick's Day, we can do Up the Long Ladder. It'll be great. Is this some kind of internal conflict among the crew? Gene Roddenberry would not approve of this. This isn't my Star Trek.
In all the episodes of Voyager with 7 of 9, do they ever reference how constantly wearing a skin tight bodysuit, the effect that might not have on respective in the pool of crew there?
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable.
I don't think they ever really talk about it.
It's just the elephant in the room that nobody.
It's not a catsuit. It's there to regenerate her skin after the assimilation, for sure. Actually, no, that one's not. That one's just a suit.
Yeah, because that's like a red one she was wearing this episode. Maybe initially it was.
Yeah, the silver catsuit was the regeneration.
And maybe that's just what she's comfortable in. I mean, I guess you could explain it away, but
are Borg naked?
That's a good question.
I
suppose they are.
I mean, they're wearing stuff over their bodies, but they consider the stuff to be part of their bodies.
And they wouldn't retain, God, not to get too deep into it, but they wouldn't retain certain parts that don't serve, whatever function they're going for.
Oh yes, dating lesson number 6, if we watched Fairhaven, if you want to date someone who's married, you just kill the wife. Thank you, Janeway. It's a very important
Grab
lesson.
another notepad here. The notes for that.
I believe it's you delete the wife.
Delete the wife. So unfortunately, this episode is going to be a lot harder to make fun of. Maybe a little less to talk about.
Good guest stars in this episode. Scott Thompson from Kids in the Hall, Ian Abercrombie, who is Mr. Pitt on Seinfeld, among a lot of other roles.
Can you not put on your own pips, Janeway? Is this some sort of weird power move? Dress me?
That's really funny, Ryan, that you said that.
Funny what way? Funny like I'm a clown?
Their trivia?
Like I'm here to amuse you?
Yeah,
you're right. What? We never see any other captain drop their pip on the floor. Can you not put on your pip, Janeway?
Yeah, it's not that hard. They just clip right on.
According to IMDb, the scene in the ready room where Seven is helping Janeway with the pips was removed from most initial airings in the U.S. In its first run. It's added in reruns and DVDs, and there's never really an explanation given for that.
It was too offensive for the U.S. A woman dressing.
Yeah, I don't know if they thought that was too intimate or something.
It's too risque.
It sounds like it.
Okay.
So that means when someone was asking in the chat about someone took out another scene from another episode, it quite likely may have been.
So, these weird towel sashes they gave them, they're a lot better than the head beads that they gave Picard. Because they do like to let alien species just put clothes on them. Headdresses, towels, whatever.
I'm not one to complain.
Yes, except our used dish rags. A symbol of our purity and our cleaning.
Oh, God. Oh, that'd be a good Lower Decks episode. Some race that just likes fucking with people, and so they just tell them all they have all these crazy customs. Oh, I love that idea.
Yes, the cactus of spiritual well-being. Lay your hand upon it that you may be cured. Yeah, I'd watch that.
This episode has a silly premise, and this is what I was saying before. I'm not one to complain. Star Trek is my favorite show. It's basically a guy just like lets loose. He's never been outside the house before, and he just gets drink and food.
It's reminiscent of the episode Liaisons from TNG, where that one guy, there's the 3 ambassadors, and one of them is obsessed with pleasure, because that's his role to figure out what pleasure is.
Yeah, the one guy just keeps eating like chocolate sundaes too.
Yeah. Just gorgeous.
Awesome.
But and in this episode, they explain at one point that synthahol works by it's broken down by the enzymes in your body, and he, as an alien, does not have those enzymes, which is why synthahol just keeps him drunk. But it was interesting.
Only a human
Flavor
ritual.
town.
Other species don't date. Wait, is dating not necessarily romantic involvement, Doctor? What do you consider?
Just don't worry
dating?
about it.
I'm worrying about it.
I think he's using dating in the more strict definition of just like, you know, first or
Just
second
meeting
date,
someone.
we are dating, as in, yeah.
No, I mean, I think they call it courtship at some other point in Voyager. So there's always been courtship, if you know what I mean.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Love amid the stars. Oh no. Are we gonna get the Fortress Ovum?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Starships
this is
are
the Fortress Ovum.
obviously
Romantic
this is a lot like
bestiary.
a Navy vessel. So you would think people are just hooking up constantly, I guess. I don't know.
And of course, men don't roar, women roar and hurl heavy objects.
Why would you use 2D? You have an entire holodeck at your disposal. Just have a 3D presentation.
This is funnier. It's funny. Shut up.
Hey,
Doctor
we're near
loves
the end
his
of
clip.
season 5. Got to save budget money where you can, man.
The
It's all
Doctor
fun.
really likes having his PowerPoint presentations. This isn't the first one, and it's not the last.
Oh,
It's true,
thank you.
he's
Nice.
loving the PowerPoint.
Where do you even get these photos?
Are these
Doctor's also studying the crew.
photos he's actually taken on the ship, or are these computer generated?
He had,
I think
he
they're
was
just
in the
like
holodeck.
23rd century clip art, or not like stock photos.
Oh yes, Fortress Ovum.
No, I just picture him in the holodeck, like creating images of people and like setting things up for hours.
Doctor, I think you might have skipped a few steps there between meeting someone and the pregnancy.
And he just shows a
Phew.
diverse room of people. And then it's just like Ovum and Fortress.
Stick to that TV PG rating. Huh?
So, dating lesson number 6: on your first date, do not mention Fortress Ovum. Surrounded by countless little warriors.
Do not
I'm gonna
present
need
the
a bigger
PowerPoint
pad.
presentation
It's
to
just
your
common sense.
This is what we're doing.
But what if the man of your dreams doesn't go to bars?
So
The Doctor's great.
we're gonna have to recreate that PowerPoint presentation somehow.
I'd forgotten how much I like the Doctor. He's a great character.
Yeah. He's the best character in Voyager.
He really is.
The
He was
early
even good in
seasons are
season
kind of
1, which
weak,
is
but
saying
once
something.
the Doctor and Seven really get going, they just carry the
Yeah.
show every episode they're
He
in.
carried the show. Yeah.
It's certainly easier, yes. Takes much less time to just assimilate someone.
It's a shame he never wound up with Seven.
Well, that guy doesn't... Oh, the Doctor.
Eh. Oh, yeah.
Would have
I mean,
been better
you know,
than Chakotay.
Yeah. In other words, they had
Yeah,
rapport and chemistry.
true.
Like he's teaching her here. Yeah. But it would have been like a personhood
I don't know.
kind of thing for AI.
I actually used to know a guy called Stephen Price. That's uncanny.
There's a movie called Her, where like a real life guy falls in love with like a robotic AI woman, like Simone or something.
Yeah. Also, strictly
Yeah,
speaking,
I guess the show
she's
didn't
not
wanna go
actually the
that direction.
tertiary adjunct of anything anymore.
Yeah.
Shouldn't introduce herself as
I
that.
love this little Marseille thing. That is this Marseille? No, it's Sandrines.
Yeah. Which might be in Marseille.
Yeah, but Marseille is like a thriving city of France. It also has a significant Arab immigrant population. Culturally,
This
it's
has a
been
really
very
great look with the fireplace and everything. I mean, I just think this looks very nice.
I don't know, actually.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up Marseille to see if it's in the south of France, but I have no idea how to spell it. So
Marseilles.
LLES.
I thought too.
Yes, Marseille
I
is
like-
in the south of France. In fact, it's on the southern coast.
It's very scenic.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might drive down there next year. Seems nice.
Okay. Go see Sandrines.
Exactly. I'm gonna go from bar to bar until I find it.
Okay.
Show me Tom
The episodes
Paris.
where Tom Paris is like, he's kind of like the audience surrogate where something odd is happening and he literally just says, "What are you, crazy?"
But you don't have any Latinum. Why does Tom look so intense here?
'Cause
Like, he's not
gambling
joking
is
around.
Really
He's
into gambling.
Tom's kind of freaking out.
You know, he's like the son of an admiral. He just like lives for this stuff. You know.
All right.
I love how the interpret class looks. I mean, I was always whatever on Voyager. He did a good job designing it.
How much could this man possibly eat? I mean, I guess he's just kind of sampling each plate, but it's a lot of stuff. So frothy.
You know, in Buddhism, the story starts out with I think. Well, I mean, it's not
Frothy
keep him away
pudding?
from. Yeah, basically, this king keeps his son away from everything that's suffering, and when he sees like a bear for the first time, he's just like shocked and horrified by it because he never saw a poor person before, and that's what causes him to like leave his princely kingdom and his wife and kids and become and meditate under a tree, and then until he was enlightened.
Stimulating.
But yeah, you're not supposed to like shelter people away from like even sweet foods and spicy foods. And
So, dating tip 7. When you're talking to a woman, do not tell them that they provide a stimulating environment. At least not on the first date. Not when you first meet them. You have to save that for later.
I mean, maybe if they're into Star Trek, they get the reference. I don't know.
That's pretty obscure.
So the thing with Neelix and the guy eating and experiencing things is clearly played for laughs. I mean, it's comedic actor
Yes.
Scott Thompson from Kids in the
Yeah.
Hall. And then this main storyline is also kind of played for laughs.
yeah,
What do you mean? Fortress Ovum being besieged by countless little warriors was very serious.
that's true. Though we got a sex ed education seminar from the doctor today on Valentine's Day.
Intriguing mathematical properties. See, the doctor knows what's going on. He's expressing interest in what she has interest in. He's going along with it. It's like, oh, sure, let's learn about this together. The doctor knows what he's doing.
I like
He's
the episodes
engaging
when they
with her
sing.
interests.
Yo, go ahead.
even if she doesn't know she has any interests.
In Downton Abbey, I was just remembering that they have this like. I'm just gonna go ahead and say they have this like it's about the rich family upstairs and the servants downstairs. So two of the servants fall in love. One is the pretty blonde one, and the other one is like this. I don't want to say old, but let's just say over. He's kind of an older character. He has a cane and he can't walk right and everything. But you know they hitch it with each other, and then the daughter of the rich family hitches with the Irish driver, and he's Irish and he's like quasi revolutionary. So back then, you know, an aristocratic family wouldn't have it. So it's kind of new to put like, because you know the Doctor is not the most attractive character, especially on the show. He's kind of like
He's very
Anyway.
handsome.
they weren't willing to put him with Seven, and I think like the show could have broke ground if they actually put them together because they were both. I don't know. He kind of mentored her the best out of everyone else.
Yeah, they're
All
both
together
kinda
now.
outsiders.
Oh, my sunshine, my only sunshine. There's also a during some convention they were asked to sing it together, and they did. Maybe we can play that after.
I know Picardo's done a ton of theater. I mean, that's kind of where his his skills lay more. He got in movies mainly working with Joe Dante, and he's in Gremlins 2 and Airspace, stuff like that.
Yeah, Robert Picardo does opera. He knows what's up.
I don't know.
Yeah, very versatile actor. He still does conventions. I mean, he loves it, you know, for sure.
All right, let me find that thing of the Doctor and Seven singing that at a convention.
I really
that's
love
so
the
inspiration.
when they meet the real inventor at Utopia Planitia, played by Robert Zimmerman, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Work performance.
Dating lesson number 8: categorize people based on their work performance. If you get a
I gotta
spreadsheet
work
of
harder.
potential mates, that'd be ideal. Is this really a good use of astrometrics?
Shh, don't worry about it.
Why do we have to do this on the big screen? Why did you have a scrolling list of people? Yeah, there's Lieutenant Chapman.
They're on the green screen. It's pretty cheap.
I was waiting to use the astrometrics lab, and I heard they were just looking up dating profiles. Jeez.
It's like going on Match.com with a movie theater.
I'm gonna
She
open
caught
up a
the
dating
lightsaber.
website for Star Trek nerds called the Astrometrics Lab.
You know who he looks like? He looks like that guy from The Office, the guy who sings, and Andy, that's his name. He looks like Andy.
God, it's awkward. That's
Chapman, I understand, Lieutenant Chapman. I get you, man.
That's awkward.
I mean, how are you even supposed to interact with Seven? She's
Yeah,
how
it's
do you
like
talk
asking,
to her?
Are you being asked on a date or are you being held up?
Like I can't tell if she's threatening me or not.
So here, take my wallet. That's what you want, right? But and Paris and Kim should have. Anyway, the show wasn't that progressive.
Wow, the Doctor is so confident.
I'm just wondering about these shifts. I feel like he's literally going to never sleep.
Well, I mean, he only has 3 shifts to do: 1 on the bridge and 2 in sickbay. I don't see what the problem is.
And if they're running a standard 3-shift schedule, then that's 24 hours a day.
For a month, yes.
I could just see the doctor just drugging him up nonstop to keep him awake for a month.
Ed Helms. Is that the guy I was talking about? Is it Ed Helms? Yes, Ed Helms. He looks like Ed Helms.
Who does?
Lieutenant Chapman.
Chapman. It's actually actor Brian McNamara. Who, I mean, he's been in tons and tons of stuff over the years. He's in Arachnophobia, but he also was in an episode of Seinfeld where Elaine starts dating the guy who gives her wake-up calls. He's the wake-up guy.
Where she enjoys the free wake up call she gets every day.
I know, yeah.
Okay, I think I remember that.
Dress for success.
You know, we're just so used to Tom Paris being that like joking frat boy type that like we don't even think it's wrong, like what he does throughout the episode, which is bet on Seven's failure, basically, until it blows up, you know, later on in the episode. Where she's like, I can't believe you would bet on me or against me like that. But I don't know. It was kind of cool to how even the audience's bias is kind of revealed.
You guys might already know this. This is My Fair Lady, essentially. I don't know if that's like a secret or something or like a twist, but if anyone's familiar with that story.
I don't know what that is, but if you would care to extrapolate,
basically there's a bet to like clean up this sort of lower class, woman into a young woman into like a refined lady to take her to this event. I might be misremembering.
I think Pygmalion also is like an archetype.
My Fair Lady on Pygmalion, exactly.
But Miss Congeniality, if you're more with who was it? Roberts, Julia Roberts,
and
Miss
Congeniality.
At Helms. I agree.
Sandra Bullock. Also, if anyone's familiar with the short-lived ABC sitcom Selfie, had the same theme actually. Don't ask why I know that.
Okay, but sorry, go on. Sorry to interrupt with the Pygmalion, but I'm glad.
No, that's it. It's that sort of story where he's tasked with turning this unrefined lady into a fine young woman and dating and that kind of thing, and he kind of falls for her in the process.
Like cultured, high society, civilized, social graces.
Yeah. And My Fair Lady is almost purely a musical, so obviously the musical references in that kind of tie in with the singing here.
Thank you. I think that would have been obvious to the regular American viewer.
And look at the YouTube comments. I'm sure someone's explaining it better than I could.
I know we had to read Pygmalion for English class in high school, so I'm thankful for my English teacher. I really did love her. She was great. George Bernard Shaw.
Lieutenant Chapman's trying. He's doing his best. Speak up, Chapman. He can't hear you from over there. Thank you, Seven.
Elizabeth 184 in the chat writes, My Fair Lady is the musical version of Pygmalion.
Do you have to thank people in the service industry if they're holograms? That's not a real person. You can yell at him. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I think it's good to be in the habit of it for when you're out.
Yeah, it's a bad... I read that you can't actually get yourself to be ruder at people if you treat...
Has anyone here actually called a waiter over to their table just to order?
No.
Yeah, you don't really have to.
It's a cultural
thing.
I've done it a couple times. You have to call over the waiter, or they'll never come.
If a place is
busy, you definitely
confusion, they'll forget or they'll miss a table or something. So it's you speak up or you go find the hostess.
Yeah.
Or something.
And you definitely have to ask for the bill in England, which I learned the hard way.
Yeah, in Europe it is
awkwardly for a half hour.
Yeah, because I agree. Because in Europe, in America, it's all about the turn. It's how fast can you seat a table, get them their food, get them their bill, get them off the table, and flip the table. So and the last place I worked at was about 45 minutes on a turn. But because there's no tipping minimal tipping in Europe, the table can sit there for 3 hours for all the server cares.
Yeah. Well, and also I've been told anyway.
You can see him sweating.
Implied that they're trying to push you out if they gave you the bill early, right? It's like a nudge, like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Whereas in America, it's sort of more expected. It's like, well, they gave you the bill. You don't actually have to pay it right away, but they just hand it to you.
Whenever I have a bill at a restaurant, they just leave it pretty early, and then I just leave money when I leave, and it's fine.
Yeah. So it's all just different
informal.
expectations.
It's just a lot of circumstances. Like, if they're trying to turn tables, depending on time of day, time of year. The times where I've had to call a waiter over to, to get something or close a bill, it's been
Single digits.
Yeah, it's very few and far between, for sure.
Looking for Parmok in the wrong places is off of As You Like It by Shakespeare, when one guy is writing love letters for another guy, and the girl's like madly in love with the guy who's like name is on the letter.
Oh,
You're damaged.
you damaged Lieutenant Chapman. Okay.
The doctor
From now on, whenever I hear myself, I am going to say, I am damaged. Just really lean into it.
So is it one broken ligament, no more dates for 7? That's pretty lame. But yeah, rule number 9: try not to break a ligament.
Yes.
Tear a ligament.
Do not damage
Do
your
not
date.
damage your date.
Romeo and Juliet died at the end, Doctor. They killed themselves. That is not a model you want to follow. Also, it was a very unhealthy relationship from the start, even when they weren't dead.
They were also like teenagers.
Yeah. They got extremely obsessed with each other after they exchanged like 2 sentences.
Yeah, true.
They murder-suicided, but not before taking other people down with them.
Yeah. Lesson 9. Do not commit suicide because your dad says you can't date a girl.
Yep, I'm going to need a bigger notepad.
Beguiling banter. Why do we not have the actual official or the official guidebook that the Doctor wrote for 7? Why is that not a thing?
Yeah, he should finish that.
Also, why doesn't she just like download it into her brain or whatever? Like,
well, she tried that once, and she kind of went crazy and almost destroyed the ship.
Oh, right.
That was an issue. Though that was more because of the volume of information.
So when they were eating on the holodeck's a bad place to have a date, because like not even eating real food.
Well, the holodeck, it's implied, can replicate real food. It's not necessarily holographic.
Replicated and teleported and whatever.
It's future space.
Yeah, the holodeck
magic. Don't worry
basically
about
uses
it.
all of the technology. Tractor beams.
I'll take it.
And it somehow has a separate power supply that has infinite amounts of power because it never needs generated. It just...
In my thing, it would just be like cotton candy because it just evaporates as soon as you leave the holodeck. All holodeck food tastes like cotton candy. My universe.
I would not want to eat like a lobster that tastes like cotton candy. That'd just be confusion for the senses.
It's just to give you an idea, like, hey, you're on a holodeck, guy. See, I think Neelix is the most hated character, but he's pretty bearable this episode.
Yeah. I only hate Neelix in like the first 2 seasons.
Kess is there, right?
Neelix gets better, but early on, especially in his interactions with Kess, it's real bad.
Yeah. Are those holographic prostitutes, or is that the conclusion we're drawing?
Yes,
he's like really controlling over her. He
in
doesn't
fact,
even want
the
her.
lady on the right with the pink hair, she looks like that captain that Quark does business with on occasion.
He doesn't even want her looking at Tom Paris. He's like jealous and controlling.
Yeah.
Like, does does synthahol impair you or not?
I think
whatever
it impairs you a little bit. So if you drink a lot of it.
Somebody talked about this, that he's an alien, so it doesn't not inhibited the same way or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they mentioned
Oh, that's true.
Right.
Oh, the
I'll buy that
doctor
too.
Seven also gets drunk off synthahol at one point. I don't remember what episode it was, but yeah, she has a drink during some kind of party, and yeah, she's out of it.
So if it gets you drunk, like how is it different from regular alcohol?
I assume it's just really low percentage alcohol.
Yeah, I think the idea is that adrenaline breaks it up. So like if you go to red alert, you're not going to be drunk anymore because it's just going to be dissolved with the adrenaline.
It's a revelation. Joking?
That's how I think we're all drawn to the show.
Yes, I'll have coffee too. Not instead. Too.
Your humor is revelation, Ryan.
If you say so.
Anyone watch?
You couldn't control a monk.
There's a Futurama episode where Bender becomes human and he experiences the extremes of everything, like food and whatever, and that's what this reminds me.
I'm surprised Q didn't go down that route. He did order 12 chocolate sundaes, but he didn't eat one.
When I heard your show, Ryan, I was like, okay, he's just being sarcastic about everything. I'm like, all right, I guess that's funny. But then I kept listening. I'm like, all right, well, he's actually being funny. So now I get it. And then I heard somebody actually joined you. So I was like, all right, now I have to join the show.
Okay.
Well attempted joke. Ouch.
If the Doctor and Seven share a sense of humor, it's a good first step. What are we on, lesson 10? Try and find someone who shares your sense of humor.
I don't know. I don't think she was complimenting him on the joke.
No, she said it was a well-crafted joke. And she smiled.
Oh, I thought she said well attempted.
No, well-crafted. Well-crafted.
Okay.
They all look really good in their dress uniforms.
Yeah. Not like that guy who is like in a bathrobe.
It feels like an episode of Arrested Development right now.
It kind of does.
You got the wacky drunk character and everyone else just kind of trying to hold it together.
Oh no, Seven, don't give a toast.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Why are we giving a toast to it?
This is very awkward.
Don't do more than 2 drinks or the equivalent of that on the first date. Otherwise, you're going to be acting a fool like this episode.
Very important. Very important.
Lesson number 11. If you take your date out to dinner, on the first date, do not stand up and give a toast to them.
Yeah.
You're just going to freak them out.
Yeah, see, that's the sad part. Star Trek is more of a lesson of what not to do. You know, when you're a kid, you don't know the difference.
The difference between what?
What not to do and what to do.
Okay.
You might get that this is the idea from the show. This is something you should do.
Yeah, when you were 14 and watching Sub Rosa, did you then go to read your grandmother's journal and try to find some YouTube-friendly content?
Touchy.
Lesson number 11. Do not grab strange women in the restaurant.
Nope.
In fact, just don't grab any women, strange or not.
And apparently, the Doctor never watched Pretty Woman. Don't Pretty Woman 7.
Oh, yeah.
And he's gone. We're down one ambassador.
Jason Alexander in Pretty Woman. It's the same thing.
You're foul to 7. He's mad now, right?
Oh, here it is. Ensigns that bring down
Tom Paris is a jerk to 7.
Yeah, Elizabeth in the chat pointed this out too, and I think someone mentioned it earlier.
Yeah. You know, that lighting pattern in the background with all the vertical lines next to each other doesn't play terribly well with the streaming compression.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's kind of
It
hard
was
to
okay
watch.
on TV in the 90s, but on an old cathode ray tube, it's fine.
But now it's just like when the camera is panning fast, I can't see anything that's happening on screen.
Yeah, it's very disorienting.
Yeah, it is. They had a nice sick bay.
Yeah.
Like the aesthetics of Voyager was amazing.
The sets look great.
Just maybe do it at a higher bit rate.
Even their bridge was like really cleanly designed. Like you had to like how expansive the set was too. How a good use of space.
I think I prefer the defined bridge just because everyone on the bridge actually has a seat where they can do their job. It's like here and on the Enterprise, people are just sitting next to Picard and doing nothing.
And standing too.
Yeah, and Worf can't sit.
Yeah, and Kim never sits, and Tuvok never sits. Starfleet, what are we paying you for?
Friends? What do you want to be more than friends? Do you want to be best friends?
I thought you were going to say friends with benefits. I was like, what?
No.
Okay.
The Doctor does specify that he made an addition to his program.
Oh, yeah, he did.
And if anyone needs a refresher, Paris is like a medical assistant to the Doctor. He's
Yes.
Right. One of his duties.
Because he had like one first aid class, and that's more than anyone else had on the ship, so he's the nurse now.
It was an interesting thing for him to do because otherwise he would just helm all the time.
Yeah.
No, you're just driving in one direction, right? So can't be that hard.
Yeah, it creates these fun exchanges with the Doctor for sure.
You know what it is? It looks like Robert Duncan McNeil didn't get any sleep before this episode started shooting.
Well, he was directing. You know, he had a lot of work to do.
Yeah, he is the director for this episode.
It's true, he didn't get sleep for sure because they did paint under his eyes very strongly.
So he just looks really intense in every scene he's in.
So this is, I kind of tried to say it earlier, but like, so this is, you know, if you look at it like a naval vessel or some equivalent of that, it's like, and if you've talked to people who've served in the armed services, or I'm sure some people maybe in the chat have too, like, I think hooking up is pretty prevalent if you have, you know, both genders on board. So it's like, I would think that's happening a lot on these starships, but I don't know.
I mean, the Doctor does say he's had relations with several people. Or maybe that was holographic people,
doing.
I don't know.
I don't think they were even working. Maybe put myself on mute for a minute.
Oh, he definitely enjoyed his visit. He loved his visit. Colorful traditions. He can't really admit to violating it now because now he'd be lying. At least the guy's more reasonable about it.
Are these just one-off aliens, or do we ever see this species again?
They're one-off.
Pretty cool design just for one-off aliens.
Yeah, they have this monk kind of robe thing to them now. I mean, it becomes a bathrobe later.
Like the you know, the different bumps on the head thing kind of expanded.
Species.
At least they didn't desecrate the bridge. Sorry, what was the last thing you said, Ryan?
Just species Rosa rubifolia.
Oh, thanks.
No, they're not sub Rosas. That's something else. Lesson number 13. Just tell her how you feel. Just talk to her.
And don't bring flowers on the first date.
Maybe bring a flower.
Yeah, like you could. It depends, I guess. There's
I don't know
lot of
about a
variance
full, like,
there.
massive, expensive bouquet, but you could give her a flower. It's fine.
Yeah, or if there's some connection to her that involves flowers. I don't know. There's a lot of
Not a rose, because that's kind of cliche. So make it like a tulip or a petunia or something.
yeah.
Not just a rose, species Rosa rubifolia.
There you go.
Maybe. You know, yeah, anyway. Tulips are interesting. I read that you could only smell a tulip for like 90 seconds, and then it short circuits your nose. Then you can't smell it for a minute or two. And you can smell
All
it
right.
again.
I don't think I've ever even smelled a tulip.
Yeah, they were like all the rage in like the 1800s. It caused like an economic craze called the tulip boom. And then like one day people didn't want it anymore, so the price collapsed. It's like a famous economic anecdote.
There's a I can't remember the title. There's a recent movie made about that, and I had never heard of this. It's very interesting, as you describe.
Yeah, I think that the whole Dutch economy was like riding top of the world at one point. They made all the tulips, and everyone wanted one, like in England and America.
Right.
It's pretty amazing how economics work.
We have like that thing where pineapples were like status symbols for a while, and just that kind of stuff.
Kiss her, you fool. Tell her how you feel. Yeah, that line of 7, no compatible mates aboard the ship, that's gotta sting. I feel for the doctor.
Yeah, why would the computer say that? It's kind of ridiculous.
No, 7 said that.
Okay.
That was real 7. Just shutting him down.
Yeah.
Poor Doc. And now he plays some sad music.
I mean, he gets to
The
know her a
computer
little
knew
more.
he was sad and didn't populate any people.
Yeah.
It's not just
Yeah.
sad music, it's what the episode's named after.
Someone to watch over me.
You know, I mean, you joke about the computer scanning for compatible mates, but we do know the Voyager computer actually actively scans people's neural readings. Maybe that would work.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that would work. You just scan everyone.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the doctor.
I don't know if I would
doesn't-
let AI pick my partner.
It'll probably work out. Don't worry about it.
Probably, I mean, it would be scary if I was like the happiest I've ever been. I'd be like, can you not know me so well?
Okay, so the next episode is Looking for Parmok in All the Wrong Places. It's Deep Space Nine, Season 5, Episode 3. Season 5, Episode 3 of Deep Space Nine. I don't know if this is even going to fit on the streamline. Let me keep going.
No, you can go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Episode 3 for the people.
Yeah, see, this is what I was worried about on the on the stream. It just doesn't fit in my setup. So I'm just gonna say looking for Parmok ... There we go. That's good enough.
Yeah, we know there's only one episode that has that word in it.
Yeah. So 2 minutes so people get queued up for it, because it's not just the next episode. Season 5, Episode 3, Deep Space Nine.
I was gonna say, were Worf and Jadzia a thing? Because we're in season 4 right now for Deep Space Nine.
That's what this episode is about. They're going to be a thing at the very end in the last scene.
So they were never a thing before? Because we're in season 4. I feel like they're already kind of a thing.
I mean,
They're
flirting, kind of.
Flirting for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I mean, they're fighting too, which is the Klingon, like, grunting, mating, kind of like, I'm into you kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that's still flirting.
Okay.
For the Klingons, anyway.
That's still second base. Second base. Thing. Okay. Thanks. That's what threw me off because this episode is making it official. I was like, I thought they were already a thing, but that's my chronology. Keep.
Yeah, a lot of things in Deep Space Nine happen a lot later than I think they do. Like, I keep thinking the Dominion War is like season 4, season 5. It's not. It only officially kicks off like season 6.
True. It's all build up.
Just feels that way. Maybe it just feels later because I don't even think about season 1.
Season 1, they're clearly just trying to figure things out. But I think, there's so much Cardassian, Bajoran like stuff outside of the Dominion War that you don't realize, how late
20
the
seconds.
Dominion War happens.
Everyone be queued up to 0, looking for Parmok in all the wrong places, Deep Space Nine, Season 5, Episode 3. 10 seconds.
So
if you're not there, we're leaving without you. Press play
rules so far.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Team rules
All right.
so far. Don't break the ligament. Don't stop.
God, I should have written them all down. We're on to like rule 14. I don't know what any of the... What?
I think we can go over the stream again. It's all recorded.
Yeah. Well, I'll replay them, write them all down because I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah. I think easily I could do that too.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I think we might have actually skipped a number, but it's fine. We can fix that later. Fix it in post.
The rules of acquisition, they're just kind of all over the place.
There'll just be one rule that's a mystery. We'll never know what it is.
Right.
I think we're on 14 now, though. 13 or 14.
There's a lot.
By the way, looking for Parmok in all the wrong places, that's a rule unto itself.
Don't look for Parmok in the wrong places?
Don't look for Parmok in the wrong place.
I mean, you joke, but that's pretty legit. Like, if you... Oh, that was a map painting, I think. What would be a good example? Like, if you're a very...
in a nightclub.
Introverted person, like you live a very chill life, maybe a nightclub is not a good place to look for a mate because they're going to be into things that you're not.
I mean, literally, like places like don't look into it like a drain pipe or something.
Also a drain pipe. Yes, don't look for your date in a drain pipe.
I mean, maybe, but it seems unlikely that would work out.
But the other thing is, though, you kind of have to embrace the humor of life because that's where like romance will take you. Right, like in the silliest, craziest places, and that's what this episode's about too. It's kind of about the crazy things we do for love.
I think my love life has taught me it's to have a sense of humor for sure.
Yeah.
He's a very traditional man.
Even on the show, we get a good laugh about flying in cats, from like across countries and stuff.
Speaking of cats,
that's all for love.
Are we gonna get cats today? I'll take that as a no.
Yeah, we didn't get cats yesterday, but I think my cat might be out. Maybe it's nice and sunny today.
Now let me look up cat live stream.
Oh, it's the kittens, the adorable kittens.
We have the cat cam.
There we go. There's some cats.
Okay.
I got my Deep Space Nine on another screen. It's fine. There's some cats for you. They're sleeping. I mean, this kind of might as well be a picture, but it is actually a stream. Let me try and find a bit where they're more active. There's some cats.
Kitty.
Now
So
there's
out of
4
all the
cats.
3 episodes, this is actually the best episode.
Yeah.
This is a genuinely good episode.
I think that's safe to say, sure.
Thank you. I thought that was going to be controversial or something.
I mean, it's better than Sub Rosa. You weren't going to get debate on that, I think.
I mean, I really like Someone to Watch Over Me. It's very good.
It's
But I think this
solid
one's
episode.
a little
Someone to
better.
watch over, as far as
Yeah,
Voyager
actually-
episodes go, Someone to Watch Over Me is pretty good.
Pluck my heartstring for sure. At the end,
That's
true.
a sliding scale,
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said as far as Voyager episodes go.
A friend of the Ferengi.
Yeah. So, did anyone read As You Like It for Shakespeare? I have not, but
No.
I think I think I saw a Wishbone episode. But this guy's like, "Can you help me write love letters?" And the girl like totally
Warp's
falls
luck.
for him. And
Wait, a Wishbone episode? Nice.
yeah, no, but later on, I discovered it was like it's a, and also I asked this girl, who's a friend of mine. She was into fiction and stuff because I'm a nonfiction history kind of guy. So I asked her like, what was that Shakespeare thing? And when she gives me the name, I thought she's telling me something else, like As You Like It. I was like, no, can you give me the title of the play? And she's telling me As You Like It.
That reminds me of a story.
Second, I don't know what's on third.
Wait,
Hey, what does
when I was a
IDK
kid,
stand for?
one time playing Halo with my brother, he asked me, he's like, "Oh, remind me, which button is it to switch weapons?" And naturally I replied, "Why?" So it's an Xbox game. It's like, because I want to know. No, it's Y. You press Y. It's yellow.
Well done.
That was.
So as we mentioned, Andrew Robinson directed this episode. Is the only DS9 episode he directed. He directed 2 episodes of Voyager, Unforgettable, and Blood Fever. For some reason, he directed 7 episodes of the TV series Judging Amy, and that's it. That is his directorial list. So,
wow,
he's directed substantially more episodes of TV than I have. Good for him.
Yeah, no, that's
Amy, is that a law show?
Yeah, it's like a network, like a CBS show about a female judge starring.
I saw it. Yeah,
Amy Brenneman. It's like
that's really cool.
It's 100. It's 100,000 light years away from Star Trek series, and I don't think he was even on the show. Maybe he was. He was on one episode of the show, and I don't think it was
those rabbits or those kittens. Sorry,
those are cats. Those are kittens.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what the compression is doing to you, but those are definitely cats.
My little cat just decided that my clean basket of laundry is the best place to lay down.
Okay.
And she's the one who sheds.
Oh, how nice.
So yeah, should this just be a regular thing where instead of blurring the screen and having Star Trek for queuing, we just have cats? Or dogs, or some other animal?
Okay, that's fine. That's better to look at. I mean, it helps you queue up sometimes to see the background, but
I think it's better to have the blur so you can
see
the sync.
Yeah.
I mean,
but look at the cats though.
Too cute though. Too cute to pass
What if, you know what I could do? It would take some work. I can't do it right now, but I could like have, the top left be a separate little square and have a cat cam there. Or maybe the sync there, and then the main screen can be the other.
Yeah.
For all streams or just Deep Space Nine?
For all streams.
Okay, because I was going to say, otherwise you could call it Deep Space Feline. Does that work?
No, it's not. No.
Okay, never mind then.
The next litter.
That's pretty good.
Written by Ronald D.
Grilka
Moore.
as before?
Yes, this is Grilka. This is the same actress.
I didn't realize she showed up again.
Yep, and the old guy.
We watched the episode in sequence for our D69 adventure series.
The old guy is the same from that episode too. He's the one who officiates the ceremony, the wedding.
Oh, thank you.
This younger Klingon guy is played by Phil Morris. The actor's done a ton of stuff, but he was Jackie Childs, the attorney on several episodes of Seinfeld, including one with Armin Shimmerman.
Cool.
I was watching a new show that's come out that's still airing called The Rookie with Nathan Fillion.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
One episode, it was like, oh, we've got to go to this judge's house to get a warrant signed. And he opened doors like, oh my god, it's Armin Shimmerman. What are you doing here, Quark?
He did a couple episodes of Boston Legal where he in fact argued with Renee Auberjonois. It was a nice little reunion.
Shatner was on that show too.
Yeah, William Shatner,
Yeah. Are there a bunch of Star Trek people? Jerry Ryan was in an episode.
Yeah.
That's right.
So the Klingon,
that was a great
Phil
show.
Morris, who you just mentioned Threat and Quark. He was also in the original series. He played a kid in the episode Miri. He played a cadet in Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. He was Ramataclon in Rocks and Shoals. And he showed up
Ramataclon's
in,
my favorite Jem'Hadar.
Yeah. He showed up in a Voyager episode as well as a NASA astronaut.
Okay. Wait, what? People
lot
in the chat,
of,
what are
like,
you
DC
trying to convince me of? Are you trying to convince me of the cats? Because I've already decided to do that. It's just I can't do it right now.
Phil Morris has done a bunch of like DC Universe stuff too. So he's on Doom Patrol or something.
What are you doing, O'Brien? Wait, was that an actual medical device, or is he just like breathing on O'Brien or on Bashir's stuff?
I think they're trying to convince us to watch one more episode. I don't know.
You want one more episode? I mean, do you have a specific episode in mind?
We're getting
Threshold.
like a mutiny from the chat.
It's not Threshold. Threshold is not a. Well, I mean, it's kind of a romance.
Is a There's some romance there at the end.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, I think they are asking for Threshold. I'm down for another episode. I'm not sure about.
Some very uncomfortable romance at the end. Yes.
Yeah, we're not watching Threshold.
Yeah, like the comfortable romance of Sub Rosa.
If you're choosing another episode, it can't be from one of the series we've already watched. It can't be TNG, it can't be Voyager, it can't be DS9.
So original
It's gotta
series.
be like Enterprise.
Enterprise, original series, Discovery, Picard, Lower Decks.
Where's the one where T'Pol takes a shower?
All of them. Thanks, Rick Behrman.
Oh God.
So O'Brien is Scottish, right?
No.
It's a Scottish accent. Casually joking about cheating on his wife. Very nice of you, Bashir. Oh, hey, Morn. Morn's always there. Not even necessarily in the box.
Yep.
Jesus, what are you doing?
Morn!
The sign saying you're not allowed to do business here from the Commerce Authority.
Oh,
Good details.
that's some good continuity. That's from the Wait, what episode is that from?
Strike
That's not from
episode.
the Union episode.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's from the episode where Quark gets the news that he's about to die from a disease. And
Right, body parts.
Yeah.
Okay, dating lesson 14. Do not call your date's brother a rotting pile of whatever.
I don't know if you're a Klingon. Apparently, it's effective.
It sounded like you
Are
said
you
a
a
rotting
Klingon?
pile of Dvorak.
And it's clear to them that he's like initiating a Klingon mating ritual.
Yeah.
They're not even offended. They're like, oh,
I mean, you
have
definitely showed some
noble
disrespect to the
intentions.
guy.
Oh, your intentions are noble.
I love that.
Your house is complete trash.
So, could they start dating after he joins the House of Martok? And get
Maybe.
together after that?
But she's taken by Quark.
Kind of.
Well, she will be
Yeah,
by the
and
end
then
of
he's
this.
like, "What do you know about?" Or he's like, "What do you know about Klingon women?" And it's like, well, I mean, we had Kalar.
She was only half Klingon, though. And she was suppressing her
Yeah.
Klingonness.
You can't.
Yeah, she was-
What's up with that though? You don't know how many women Worf has vetted. You haven't been with a real woman, have you? 'Cause, 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 'cause,
I love the fact that was apparently a by the books mating
Yep.
move. Like that was just opening
That's
line and
Yeah,
done
it's like the
with
call it
Lesson
nothing
15.
intentional about it.
Lesson 15,
Overproduction
going
was
to a
just like,
bar
yeah.
and trying to beat someone up who's there is not a good way to impress a woman.
Unless they're Klingons.
you have
Which
two
case,
cats.
it's your brother.
and
Apparently,
stuff.
that's just how you do it.
Oh, here you go, Ryan. Now you got cats.
Well, I keep switching back and we have to have it for sync right now, the blur. We have to have it for sync.
It's okay. I guess we could turn off the light to let the cats rest or whatnot. Thank you.
I would love to see the cat after the episode. That would be ideal.
Fair enough.
It's a good cat.
We're for drinking prune juice. We have two good cats now as our mascots. And I love how you scratch them on with your mouse.
I mean, they're good cats. They need scratched.
But I guess they were done with the writing because twice they used this jumping on each other like voles analogy.
I guess Quark needs to go to the bar and like beat up a dude if he wants to impress Grilka.
I don't think voles is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of animals.
No?
procreating, but we could. I don't know what we would use. We do think of dogs and cats in the alleys.
Can I buy a
Typically,
vowel?
rabbits is the
Yeah,
analogy.
true. Rats also. Okay, so voles make sense if you think about rats. You know, often like a racist cliche for whatever group of people you don't like.
Maybe
Is
we
that
should
they-
not specify the wording of that racist cliche.
Yeah, no, but they so and so breed like rabbits, and if you want to be really cruel, I guess it could be like rats. But yeah,
Okay.
it's been used against different ethnic groups throughout history.
Quark, you gotta work with the other person's culture. You gotta learn how to interact with it if you want to date that woman.
Can we say that there's a bit of a surprising moment for Quark there where Jadzia says for sex and he's like, no! And then he's like, oh, well, I guess that too. Like, that seems a little out of character for me. To me,
Quark?
rather, not for me.
I mean, what is marriage for, right? I mean,
No, I'm saying
Kind
that Quark, that's what Quark would be after.
right.
I mean, I read
But
that as
you're
more as
kind of-
just he wasn't immediately admitting that that's what it was for.
Yeah.
No, it almost seems like it hadn't occurred to him. He's just interested in her.
Right.
She's glorious.
Right.
Like, it almost, like he was interested in respecting a woman. It's just so out of character.
A Ferengi respecting a woman
female.
and a woman who wears
So out of
clothing?
It's true, and she.
I bet she even
runs
has
her
a
own-
job.
I bet he
has a
offers
house.
to like
She's
look through
the
her
head of a
books.
Klingon house. She's the opposite of a Ferengi woman.
She participates in government.
Yeah, this subplot is, interesting.
I mean, the whole arc is interesting because she's a surrogate, but she moves in.
She moves in and then they develop feelings for each other and they have to try and hide it from themselves.
And they have like a surrogate relationship. Oh wow, Phil Morris is it from Seinfeld. Seinfeld was filmed in LA. It takes place in New York, story-wise, but it wouldn't be hard for all the actors to go down to the Seinfeld
Correct,
plot.
yeah.
Halfway across Ireland. I thought you were from Scotland, O'Brien.
No, he's Irish.
That's the guy.
The Sub Rosa episode shows Beverly Crusher is Scottish,
Yes.
hence the name Crusher.
Did you come late?
Yeah, because the guy Ned, the guy who said, "Did not light that candle,"
Yeah.
he was played by an Irish actor.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
so you have
the
this
Irish
whole
Yeah.
and
Scottish,
Scottish accent
Irish
are both Celtic.
getting mixed up thing.
Yeah, they're both Celtic accents. They're very similar.
Yeah, but they're not that similar.
No. They're not that similar. You're right.
Oh, but like for American rubes like me.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, but they both speak a Gaelic tongue.
Right.
Celt. Like
It's
Gaelic is
related,
a
but
Celtic
yeah.
language.
Yeah.
So I mean, at one point they were the same people.
Well, they're not the same language, also, but they're both Gaelic and the same family.
The Celtic roots kind of thing.
The,
There's a lot of sounds
Gaelic is
come
a
from-
family of languages.
and Celtic includes like the Gauls in France too, and even the Germans if you want to be generous. So it was a whole ethnic subgroup that was all Northern Europe, with Druidic religion, pagan traditions.
This is
That's
this
true.
Klingon
Scottish
opera they're
accents
singing
and
right
Scottish,
now.
other Scottish accents aren't even all that similar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Countries
but
points out.
they said Edinburgh at one point. But yeah, Edinburgh sounds different than Glasgow and all that.
Yeah.
So this Klingon opera is way different than the Klingon opera we got in TNG. The TNG one was just very harsh, very abrasive. This one is actually just like a regular opera, but in Klingon.
I'm not convinced that Americans actually hear Scottish and Irish the same. They just don't know which is which. Like if you actually hear them both, they're not that similar.
we'd have a
Just
tough
Americans
time.
get confused
We'd
about
have a
them.
tough time. But what I was saying before was one of the things that it's also in contradistinction to the received pronunciation of Southern England, which we call the royal accent. So, for example,
Yeah.
they don't do their R's, and the Scottish trill
Right.
their R's. So, they do like Brexit and
Yeah.
Trid.
Yeah.
So
the burr.
they really emphasize their R's. So
Right.
you would have
And-
to know it from the Cockney accent and all that.
It's
It's a very
South
diverse.
African, Aussie, and Kiwi
set of
sound
islands.
similar. I don't know what the South African accent is
Yeah,
like.
I couldn't tell those two apart. You're right.
Yeah, definitely
New Zealand
Aussie
sounds
and English is trickier.
Just look up
Scottish
Trevor
versus
Noah
Irish. That's
from
definitely-
Daily Show. He's from South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am proud to say I am pretty good at distinguishing the New Zealand accent. Mostly because
New Zealand is a little bit.
Mostly because of the background Lord of the Rings stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
That's because
Also,
a
the
lot of
vowels
people
are
from New
are
Zealand.
kind of funny in New Zealand accent.
Lucy Lawless.
You want to be a wise ass.
in Battlestar.
I was gonna say, if you want to be a wise ass, if someone asks you what your favorite African American actress is, just say Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron, yeah.
Yeah, the
Cork
term
has the greatest fur coat over here. Sorry.
the term African American kind of confuses me because I mean, it's basically just African American just means black, but I mean, all people
does,
in
yeah.
Africa are not. There are black people who
Right.
aren't from Africa, and there are people in Africa who
Yeah,
aren't black.
Yeah.
I have a black friend who's from Canada. What do I call him? I call him Steve, but you know,
Okay.
you get my point.
Canada is still part of
And
America,
interesting-
technically. It's North America, but it's
Technically.
America.
Oh,
We would
yeah.
What if-
categorize somebody.
But if they're Jamaican,
Yeah.
So somebody from the Caribbean counts the same ethnicity as someone who's like, Southern Black American from North Carolina. But it's kind of weird because they're two different cultures, that Africans, Caribbeans, and Americans.
It's too bad Will is here because I would very much like to ask if he uses the term African American in England. Very curious.
No, and they also, when they say Asian, they mean South
Like
Asian.
East Asian. East
Here,
South.
right, and when we say Asian, we mean East Asian. So
You don't call
Asian
Russians
over there.
Asian?
they should, right?
I mean, Russia is technically
Hello?
part of the Asia continent, but most of inhabited Russia anyway is in Europe.
Okay.
Right.
Jeez, you don't. Worf is
So
really getting into this.
Did we ever hear about Lady Lucara before? Because before this, it was always Kalis.
This is the first mention that I remember, Lady Lucara.
I think they're
This
just
might
doing
be
it for the
first.
romantic episode kind of context. Like,
They're
this is
probably
what
going to
Kim
bring it
Jong-un
up again later, though, at the wedding with Worf and Jadzia.
So don't try to roleplay, epic lovers with your date. How about that? Don't think you're Romeo and Juliet. Don't think that you're Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet from Titanic.
Yeah, there's Jadzia quoting Quark back to him, the crazed Vols.
That was a great moment.
Really? The security arrangements aren't at fault. You're the security chief. It's everyone else's fault except you.
Yeah, I love the way this episode ends with Kira and O'Brien. It's like, yo, I don't need to be in a romantic getaway with you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let you.
It's like, nope. Under no circumstances should we get anywhere near that cabin with a view. I am out.
Who gives up an idyllic vacation, right?
Also, I really like this bit right here. Miles. It's the smile.
You see the river. At night you can hear the water running.
Apparently, the first mention
Such
of
an
Nukara
awkward
is in the
story.
episode where Kalos is cloned.
Okay. Which part? Why?
Oh, this is
Odo,
the
why are you
report that
enjoying
they
this so
canceled.
much?
Every Tuesday morning they do their report. Remember, like when
Yes.
his feelings were hurt over Shakar.
He goes and
he
prepares a
canceled
cup
their
of coffee
Tuesday.
for her. Waits till she has a drink.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jesus.
He's being such a dick.
God.
Deep Space
Oh,
Nine
no,
really
such a
delivered on
dick.
the comedy.
He's
Oh,
just
Better than
teasing her.
arguably any other series.
I know.
They're friends. He's just
when he
messing with
decided
her.
to get dickish, he's impressive at it.
Because the I was just thinking because we were watching the space station establishment shot. Deep Space Nine is really beautiful, and then they have the episode with Empok Nor, which is the sister station, and that's
Which
where they
saves on
get
set
Moogie.
budget, yes.
Right. And so, but you also get Moogie, when she's hostage by the Dominion. They exchange it for the dead Vorta in that episode. And so Deep Space Nine really delivers comedy way better than like any other series of Star Trek.
I'd agree with that.
They have a lot of actors who've done comedic roles. I think is a big asset too.
True. And I guess the series was so serious for like TNG and TOS that like they said, let's have some fun with these species now.
Yeah, and especially with the exchanging, the constantly exchanging guest stars because you're on a space station and ships are coming in and out and that kind of thing. It's almost has like a Love Boat feel at certain points.
Yeah, definitely. So and Voyager could never imitate that, right? Because you could only like run into hostile aliens or one-off aliens.
Yeah, it's just a different storytelling, setup.
Yeah,
being isolated like that.
So yeah, Grilka's comment right there was very problematic, is the term, I believe. Where it's like, now you sound like a Ferengi again. Yeah, that's his culture. If he's going to engage with Klingon culture, you have to engage with Ferengi culture.
Yeah, but I mean, he said I wanted to acquire you. So, I mean, that's that rule number 15. We'll talk about acquiring your
Rule number
lover.
15, do not trade your date like property.
Yeah, do not.
Your date
speak
is a
of them
person,
as-
not Latinum.
That's
Yeah.
one thing that Star Trek does a lot that really actually irritates me. It's like when Lita and Rom get ready to get married, he has to pick up all these Bajoran customs, but I'm not saying she needs to be naked, but she picks up 0 Ferengi customs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Keiko and O'Brien even on
Oh yeah.
Keiko insists on
I
eating
would
all
be-
this Japanese food and she doesn't want to try any Irish food.
I
She
would
ends
be
up
with
doing it in
you
the
on on the Rom and Lita thing, were it not for the fact that literally there is no value in just about any Ferengi custom that has to do with women.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think it's just more of an example of something that Star Trek does in a lot.
She could do the language or the earrings or the clothing, but there's no clothing.
I think the Keiko and Miles thing when they first get married, and he's like trying out her food that she eats for breakfast every day, and she's very reluctant to try anything of his.
Yeah,
it's just like,
It's like, oh, what are these little dark things?
You're right. There should be a
real meat.
I had a friend.
Are
who
those
got
the same
married
capers they use for the caper toss?
Those are capers.
Capers.
Also,
I had a friend.
Irish people don't do caper tosses. That's Scottish again.
Again, is there a difference? I
thing.
still don't think there's a difference.
Mr. Fiddle, continue, please.
What about
Cajun
the
and what's the other one?
Creole?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I still
So,
haven't had either yet. Still need to find some. Yes, yes, we are. Go ahead.
My friend, he got married to a Korean woman, and they had a traditional Korean wedding where he had to dress up in like medieval armor, because like a man has to show like masculinity when he was married.
What?
So it's like, yeah, like like they have that samurai armor. I mean, it's not literally samurai because that's Japanese, but it looks like old school like medieval armor. So when you're married in a traditional Korean ceremony, the woman wears basically what Keiko wore to her wedding. Something.
Are you
like
sure
that.
she wasn't just messing with him? That doesn't sound like a real thing.
And then he wore armor, but then they also had a Catholic ceremony, and he's not even particularly religious, but they had a little, Western, right, sacrament kind of thing. So I feel like it's good to balance, traditional cultures and both spouses' cultures. Then you get your little city hall ceremony to finalize it.
Korea is a very Christian country.
Where'd you even get a suit of armor? Do you have to rent a suit of armor? Do you have to buy your own? That looks.
I'm glad
Do you
both of
keep
you
it?
said that because I was just also reading recently that most Korean people, they choose to have Western weddings and they forego the traditional wedding. So it is really interesting that he even went through that.
And where are you supposed to find a blacksmith?
True.
They're still around.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like a common profession these days.
Do you mean an African American Smith?
It's like renting a tux,
No,
right? Not
no.
everyone's wearing it. You
No.
gotta have it handy. You gotta be able to shell out the bucks.
Blacksmithing is becoming a more popular thing again. Like it's becoming a hobby that lots of people are picking up.
There's even a show.
Maybe I should make a forge in the backyard.
It's actually a lot easier to make a forge than you would think.
I mean, it's just a bunch of rocks and some fire.
You gotta get it like past.
Very
1,000
carefully
degrees.
arranged.
It's not just rocks. You need like thermal wool and fire bricks.
Yeah.
And a ribbon burner from a propane tank. It's not like expensive or difficult stuff to get. It's just you need specific stuff.
And people in the medieval times knew how to do it. How hard could it be?
In medieval times, they actually used coal forges where they would blow air with billows on coals until they got extremely hot. That's a lot harder to accomplish than like what we can do today, but it's still possible.
Okay. They didn't have propane in the mid 1300s?
I'm sure propane existed, they just didn't use it.
Yeah.
You couldn't put it in a canister.
Yeah, they didn't have the technology to make pressure vessels.
Oh, yes, Dax, thank you. Tip number 16. Do not put your girlfriend on a pedestal. He's just a person. Also, I guess you could clean her every week. I mean, you can talk about that with each other.
She says she wants to wear his boots, which is like a weird line. Like, that's probably the worst line of the episode.
Is Worf
This is
surprised
cute,
here
though.
that she knows what size his boots are?
Yeah. But I think that also implies I think somebody said on the show that Klingons have like a hoof, or like a different toe sticking out or something.
Klingons... I think we see Klingon feet once, and I think they have normal feet.
No, we see Worf's feet in the episode where
Oh, right,
he's His
They
back
have
is broken.
they have ridges.
They've got so there is supposed to be a spike on their feet too, but Worf's spikes have very clearly been cut off.
I assume you mean like by the camera, not physically.
No, physically,
What do you mean? Who cut off Worf's legs?
not legs. It's the spikes on his feet. There's a spike on the
little
top
horn.
of the foot, right above the big toe, and you can see it on Philpock's
On
shoes.
their
there.
shoes.
But Worf's have been cut off so that he could wear human shoes.
This sounds great. Where did you learn to wield the bat'leth?
Well, there's an official poster that shows Klingon anatomy, and the spikes are very visibly present in the poster. But Worf's, in that episode where he breaks his back, he's doing physical therapy at the end of the episode, and he's got bare feet. So you can see that the place where the spikes are, there's just like a bump that they've been sheared off.
So I really hope Quark here is planning for this to be a short-term thing with Grilka, because this is a lot of line that he's going to have to deal with later.
Wait,
It's
you
true.
watch City on the Edge of Forever as our other romance episode for TOS.
Yeah, that's kind of romantic.
It's like tragic romantic.
Youth killer.
Rule 17, do not push your girlfriend in front of a moving bus.
I mean, but he has to do it. So
Hitler's gonna take over the world from
Yeah.
her surviving.
Oh,
she's
sorry.
a pacifist.
You're right. Rule 16,
Anarchist.
do push your girlfriend in front of a moving bus or Hitler will win.
if it's Joan Collins, Edith Keeler. Well, I guess or Joan Collins. I mean, she's
Yeah, see, I'm definitely with Quark here. I mean, Frankie culture might be awful from a human perspective, but they've got to engage with it if he's engaging with them. Come on.
like to some degree.
I mean,
And Grilka agrees.
Yeah, Grilka's being cool about it now. She's good.
yeah, he's stalling, which is great because
Yes.
which is why
It's a traditional
Worf says here, I don't know how.
custom.
But he's like, I don't know how, but he's still alive.
I love that little line. About what?
So this is the first time that we see Klingons even like entertain this, because normally they'd be like, "That's not in our customs, disqualified."
The aquarium of my soul, the kelp of discontent. What, did you just watch Finding Nemo, Quark? What are you talking about?
I don't like
But,
Turtle Fan. It's rough, it's irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
This scene was really well done though when Quark's fighting for his life.
Yeah. It's good, but still have no idea what Quark is talking about. Oh, speech is over.
He's like RoboCop, like just jerking those movements around like a machine. He's doing it so great.
I do kind of love this mimic connection fight thing with Worf and Quark. Like it is very clever.
So, if they actually went through with this, would Quark be the murderer or would he be an accomplice, given that he was being controlled?
I think he'd be an accomplice.
Could be a
Well,
little
if you
more
need
subtle
an
in the
attorney-
movements, Worf.
An attorney, Phil Morris, aka Jackie Childs, is right there, so you just ask him.
They established though in the Arbiter of Succession episode that if everything's done in accordance to Klingon law, you know, the matter is pretty settled. As far as the Federation is concerned. It's like
Okay,
when
so
Worf
Quark
goes
just got
down.
his girlfriend's bodyguard fired for... Why?
For not liking him,
Losing the-
basically.
I mean, but Thopok was
Honorable
right.
loss of contest.
Quark is lying to her through his teeth.
Speaking of space racists, Bashir twice says, "Oh, I don't need that image in my head."
Yeah.
Then he tells later Worf and Jesse, "Oh, I don't need that image in my head." Come on, Klingons are sexy.
I don't think it was so much
Spoilers!
about him not liking how Klingons look, and more
Worf
about he
is
still
sexy.
has a crush on Jadzia, and he doesn't want to picture her like that with Worf.
Oh, yeah, I guess that.
But he says that's a Grilka and Quark too, and the Quark is sexy.
I don't know if that's like racist or space racist or whatever, but I think it's more like I
we
don't
know
like
he
him. I find him smarmy.
But we know he doesn't access Ferengi adult material.
Lucara? I understood that. I speak Klingon.
What does the car mean?
Later,
Lucara is the name of the lady in the romance story.
Kaelus's lady.
Yeah.
They conquered the parliament or whatever together.
They went and murdered a bunch of people, and then they were covered in blood, and they were into it.
They killed the gods, and they emerged triumphant. Like Kaelus and his warriors crossed the river Skrull.
Oh, here we go. They're gonna go to the cabin.
This is like a triple romance episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so perfect for
Very
Valentine's Day.
Shakespearean.
Triple the romance.
Yeah, it's a slapstick comedy romance. Romantic comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, the Discord people can see the YouTube chat. Sometimes people type in the YouTube chat when they're in Discord still. Not entirely sure why. You could just talk to people, but it's a thing.
I feel like if I have something that's not important or good enough, and I just want to maybe throw it out there and not interrupt people, I'll throw it in chat instead of saying it. Just for the good of the group.
You can only hear rushing water
about
and
the river?
starlight.
And
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
there's no cities, like there's no neighbors for 20 kilometers. It sounds so perfect, right? Like who wants to be around people right now?
Like their whole thing feels like a sitcom premise.
Yeah.
That place.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
surrogacy
Kira's also dating
becoming more
someone.
Yeah, surrogacy is becoming more common today. It was really becoming like in vitro started around the 60s and 70s, so it was kind of life changing for a lot of people. So the show did a cool theme over here.
Well, go get a microphone, Elizabeth. What are you doing with a microphone, you pleb? Don't even have a mic? Come on.
Yeah, you have to know all the Trill hosts in order for Jadzia.
I expect you to get an XLR microphone. Very nice fancy thing. You have to get a separate audio mixer.
Make sure it's a passive powered microphone.
Yeah.
Has to cost at
You
least
and me,
$10,000.
Ain't
All right, Miles is
nothing
out of
but
there.
mammals. So let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel.
Let's just
We
put
mute
it-
other people, or how does that work?
Okay, yeah, no, I'm with O'Brien or with Bashir. I don't want to picture this.
I like how Grilka isn't injured. It's only Quark.
Well, yeah, she's a
course.
Klingon.
She's breaking
But
ribs.
Jadzia was
Both
able to
Jadzia
injure
and
Worf, but
both
that's
injured.
Jadzia.
Bashir's like, I'm gonna skip asking people that question.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna treat them.
It's probably a good decision, Bashir. Sorry, it's probably a good decision. Siddiq al-Tahila Fadil Abdurrahman Muhammad Ahmed Abdul Karim al-Makti.
Deep Space Nine had a higher rate of sex-related injuries. Any other space station or starship.
We're gonna have to revise that rule, aren't we? Don't damage your date, because I mean, they damaged their date and they both were perfectly happy about it.
If you're gonna get
Okay,
raunchy, make sure it's on
here's
a
the new
space
rule of
station.
whatever that is. Rule number whatever. Don't damage your date unless there's mutual consent to damage each other. That's the rule.
What about emotional damage?
I mean, I don't know how
Oh,
someone could be
Sub Rosa.
into
You gotta
emotional
watch
damage,
Sub
but I
Rosa.
guess you could talk to him about it.
You could do it for a few generations, but after that, stop.
Okay, all right. Assuming I'm a candle ghost or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, you're an anaphasic life form.
Yeah, we're
You gotta-
not always looking at the YouTube chat, so I might miss stuff because I'm trying to like talk to people on Discord and watch the show and make sure the stream is working correctly with the volumes. So I might miss some stuff sometimes in the chat. But I'm not ignoring you.
Hardest working Trek fan on YouTube, baby.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm just choosing to not ignore other things.
With double talk like that, you should be a politician.
Klingons
Thank
don't
you.
laugh.
I think.
Klingons don't laugh.
Rick Berman and Iris.
What's
Steven
happening?
Well,
Behr.
Klingons do not laugh. Yeah, you're right. What's this?
That's why that episode was so good. They had someone else besides Rick Berman, the executive producer.
Oof.
So, I mean, well, for one thing, let me fix this while we discuss some things.
Mm-hmm.
Klingons have a redundant sense of humor. Yes.
Do we have a specific last episode, or
Yeah, but I have a new test for anyone who wants to be my romantic partner. You have to be able to sit through these 3 episodes that we just watched. Otherwise, I'm cheating. You can't sit through this.
In this order, though, because I would build up
Not the
Sub Rosa.
order. Yeah, I wouldn't start with Sub Rosa. You're right.
If you start with Sub Rosa, you're sunk.
All right, everyone,
Yeah.
queued up. Voyager season 2, episode 15.
Oh God.
Oh, we're still deciding as a collective.
I like somebody suggested City on the Edge tomorrow. I think Elizabeth in chat had another one too.
I think if we're doing TOS, I think I would prefer either This Side of Paradise or Amok Time.
Oh, that's
yeah.
interesting. That's interesting. Okay, I'm down with whatever.
Let me make a straw poll and we'll put it in the YouTube chat, and we'll decide that way.
Okay,
You're
do you want some-
democratic.
Amok Time
You're
or
democratic,
this-
Ryan. Ryan,
You know what? Parmak was picked by the chat yesterday, so our chat is. So you got to give it to them. They really know how to pick them.
Huh?
All right, there's the straw poll.
Ryan could be a dictator, but he chooses to be democratic. You have to respect that.
I am dictatorially ruling out City on the Edge of Forever.
What is This Side of Paradise about?
I don't know, honestly. Let me look it up. City on the Edge of...
It's kind of weird. Like, it talks about Vulcan passion.
Is that the one about Spock's
Call
wedding?
it.
This Side of
Yes,
Paradise
go back
is
to the plot
the pacifying alien spores.
And they're love spores.
Love spores. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna trust.
And then Amok Time is the Vulcan mating ritual. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, I think we got a nice advantage for.
Well,
It
so
looks like
far we're
100%.
5-0.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I much prefer Amok Time, but
Okay,
but,
it's Amok
you know,
Time.
Oh, we have 1 vote for This Side of Paradise.
One vote for... Okay, so while I queue up and fix things, I have to blur the cat.
Okay.
Because I have to set up.
Ukiti.
2 votes. 14%.
Alright, so the next episode is going to be Amok Time. That's a TOS episode.
It's slowly shifting. Now there's 3 votes.
I think people are
Also-
voting for Paradise just to be that person.
What?
So-
People would never do that.
So this is actually important. My lights just flickered. If the stream suddenly stops, just
it's
go
because
away.
He's traveled through time.
Just
Just
the
go
minute
away.
Discord people. You don't even have to have a mic. You can just listen to all this gibber and then, you know.
Yeah, if the stream suddenly ends, just the stream's over because I would have lost power because of inclement weather. So just keep going if that happens. Well, don't keep going. Leave. The opposite of
It's
what I said.
Amok Time. But it was a fun stream.
Which season?
Season 1, episode 25. Oh no, that's This Side of Paradise. Hang on.
Season
it's
2,
season
episode
24, I think.
They're right next
Season
to each
2,
other.
episode 1. Season 2, episode 1 of Star Trek TOS.
Oh, thank you. And City on the Edge of Forever season 1, episode 28. Just so you know. It's for next year's Valentine's Day. Okay, guys.
So
Sure.
you can decide for yourselves if you would want to watch, at least on Amazon it has both, the remastered or the original version. I think I'm gonna watch the original just because I haven't seen it.
You could decide.
So I'm gonna watch the non-remaster just to see how awful it is. So if I start commenting about something looking awful, you know, it's unclear whether you'll have seen that. Alright, 2-minute
I didn't
countdown.
know that. I really didn't know that.
That they're both on there?
Yeah. That's so cool. I love the original. I mean, I grew up on it. Oh. You know,
The version,
sorry.
let me actually confirm that the versions are the exact same length.
Okay.
One was 50, 20 something,
Huh?
and the remaster is, come on, hurry up and load, please. Skip the ad, I don't care. Yeah, they're the same length.
Great. So I was on the subway, and I was reading. No, I saw this lady reading *The Martian* by Andy Weir, which was a big sci-fi hit, with Matt Damon. And so I started talking to her about what a great book that was, and I just went over the plot with her a few things, and she talked about how in 1969, when America landed on the moon, she saw it live. That was in July, and Star Trek premiered in September of the same year. And so she talked about watching Star Trek, the original series, live also. So we had a lovely conversation, then my stop came. But it was really cool meeting somebody who watched the original series, and not to mention the moon landing. I don't know which was more amazing in my mind.
So if you want to drop YouTube links, you have to do it in Discord because YouTube will automatically remove links. You might see it yourself, but no one else will be able to see it. 20 seconds to start. Everyone be queued up. Season 2, Episode 1, Amok Time.
This is
Remastered
our first original
version.
series episode, so you all are with us for a very special moment.
Yeah, this is the first time we're watching.
Valentine's Day.
Oh my
2020.
god.
Get ready to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. This is the last episode, though. This is the last one.
We're in 2021, just so you know.
Okay, special people though out there tonight.
Mm.
Okay, so it's immediately much lower resolution than I'm used to. Especially between camera shots, for some reason. It looks like for the close-ups right here, they had it in wide frame and then they just cropped it.
Most people.
It's gonna look like crap. The version you watch.
No, that's what I was gonna say. I was saying most people didn't have colored television sets when this aired, so just be grateful.
I love watching the remastered original series though, because man, oh man, like that background stuff that they thought no one would ever see high-res images of is pretty rough sometimes.
So I have the video, The Vulcan Girls, queued up. I don't know exactly what it's about other than Vulcan girls, but I have it.
Like, and by the way, a television set was like no bigger than 6 or 10 inches. In those days. So it was terrible.
If you're watching Hulu, it might look extra bad anyway. I've noticed I signed up for Hulu just a trial. I refuse to pay for Hulu, but I have a trial. And it is much lower visual quality than Amazon or Netflix or anyone. It is not 1080p. At least not for me. No matter what show I'm watching.
Yeah, I've had a lot of issues with Hulu myself, to be honest.
Da-da-da.
This is very out of character for Spock.
Loses his temper.
What is a light day? Is that like a parsec?
No, a light day is the length that light moves in a day. Just like a light year is the amount that light moves in a year. The distance.
Yeah, I guess so.
We often measure things in light seconds or light minutes. So the sun is on average 8 light minutes away from Earth.
Oh no, never mind.
So
Americans measure lots of things in light nanoseconds, but don't refer to them as such.
No, oh, that was Nurse Christine Chapel, right?
Yes. Also known as Loxana Troy, also known as the ship's computer.
Also known as Roddenberry's wife.
Thank you.
So I think it was a little noticeable there, not too prominent, but I think we talked about last week the Vaseline lens kind of look of some of the women in the original series. So
women are blurry in the future.
Yeah.
Did you all see? I posted in the Discord chat the Star Trek: The Next Generation opening set to the TOS opening.
Yes, I think that's awesome.
I loved it.
It was fun. Yeah.
I got a great laugh off of that one. Because, for the time, the TOS opening and the song is pretty great.
For sure.
I had a music teacher play for me the TOS theme, and I couldn't recognize it at first. But so it was kind of, but it's very memorable.
So the Vulcan Girls YouTube video is a music video. So I'm not going to play it on stream because I can see even the video that you're linking to has been copyright claimed. So I'm just going to post it in the YouTube chat, and if people would like to watch it, it is available for them.
So this episode's really great because we never established Vulcan sexuality before. And it's always been like, yeah, we suppress our emotions for season 1. Now it's
Does that mean all emotions, or
now
we're about to find
that's
out?
been bottled up for 7 years, and we got a Freudian release this. Otherwise, we're gonna die. If you know what I
Spock's
mean.
losing it.
If you know what I mean.
Is he holding a knife?
It's kind of funny as a subject matter.
Don't stab the captain.
Let's do it. Stab him. End the show. Stab him now. It's the Spock Show.
Do you know how many times Captain Kirk is going to break the Prime Directive? Just stab him here and now.
Who needs 5-year missions? Just
so
nip it in
much
the bud.
unauthorized time travel.
There's no body cams in the future. You can just pretend he attacked you first.
Starfleet has done away with 5-year missions by the time we have Next Generation.
Yeah. Now it's a continuing mission.
That's true.
Spock, you know he can see the knife right now, right? Apparently he's cool with it, though.
This establishes the precedent that we can always use and turn around the ship for any single officer's personal problem at any time. It's like a real Navy. You just turn around a whole aircraft carrier because one guy has to go meet his mom.
I'm just... Oh, Jesus. Oh, man, that looks awful on the original, that shot of the Enterprise. Oh, no. The impulse engines aren't even on. How's it going? I guess it's a...
Well, I'm happy to see then that the remaster isn't like the Star Wars meddling, where they're not trying to make it look modern. Just make it
just
look
looks
not like
not
crap.
horrifying.
Not trying to act like weird.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think everyone would agree the 97 Star Wars release where like he increased, like I think for example on the Battle of Hoth when he's in the AT-AT Walker, they improve the transparency, which is to say they decrease the transparency and make it look more real. Certain shots whenever they have the you're looking through a window of a cockpit.
My favorite shot, in terms of just looking for visual effects, is also on Hoth. That Tauntaun, when it falls over dead, the one Han is riding, it is so obviously stop motion. It animates at like 5 frames per second.
Yeah, it's really jumpy looking for sure.
Yeah. The original one, the movie version.
I love the old effects on those movies. It just adds to the charm of it, really.
True. But like 97 was minor cosmetic updates. I think that's what you should be limited
Not
to.
really. They redid a lot of stuff. 97 one.
The
Okay, theatrical release.
Hang on, I want to point that out real quick. That shot of the Enterprise as it was flying past right there, you could see significant parts of it were being green screened out because the chroma key was off. Just large chunks of the ships were missing and they were flickering all over the place.
This was brand new technology. Just want to
Jesus.
note.
I
he has
know.
books.
Look.
You see like
Look.
matte lines and stuff. I mean, it happens.
You see the strings too, pretty clearly.
Yeah, it's yeah, it adds like the charm. It's like watching like a Roger Corman movie or something. Like I know Carnosaur isn't going to have top notch special effects, but I watch it because it's like goofy and fun and
Yeah. It's still
Even
fun,
these viewers
but
are like so bulky.
it's jarring.
The cathode ray TVs that we don't have anymore.
So I'm just thinking back to that episode of Voyager with Vorik or Torek or whoever it was, who like threatens to kill Tom Paris when he's going through Ponfar. Like tries to murder people.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't seem healthy. I don't think this is a biological need that it's only every 7 years. It's just
well, or if
just
you're going to do this, you
unfortunate.
have to have things built in so that you don't have Vulcans on starships like during.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess in Voyager, obviously, like something's not unavoidable or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, it's true. You gotta like schedule your vacation, like a sabbatical.
Though that does feel a little bit. I think that's correct in this case, but it feels a little bit like saying you can't have women on starships because every month they're going to have issue.
Yeah, but if you're going to
Luckily-
turn into like a lustful, murdery
Yeah.
kind of person, like
There's a difference
fill
between
out
that and literally trying to murder people. That
Yeah,
very
like
different
fill
thing.
out that time off,
Someone plan for this. Like, come on.
Yeah.
fill out the time off sheet early.
Yeah. You can't just be throwing dishes in the mess hall, and like
Well, especially
and
like
telling your colleagues, if I want to talk to you, I'll talk to you.
we've known Vulcans literally since we had warp drive, so it seems odd that we've only finding out about this now.
They're really private and shady though, even throughout Enterprise. Like
They're
I
really
think
good at being secretive.
they really are, and I think like so Enterprise
Yeah.
also hones in on this in that they have this planet that's off the star maps, and it's because it's their like holy planet of meditation. And Archer's like, how come it's not on the maps? And it's like, fine, we'll just go there to check it out. But they don't really want to go there. So it's like they're giving them whatever information they want them to know.
So in terms of watch-alongs for the YouTube chat, after we finish TNG and DS9, we're going to be doing every single series, including TOS. Yes, TOS will be included.
And animated series.
Yes. It's just going to take a long time to get there because 3 episodes a week and there's a lot of episodes.
And then we're doing holidays now. Holiday specials. We're going to have a 4th of July 24-hour marathon.
I just realized we're doing season 2, episode 1, but we forgot season 1, episode 1, because we have to talk about Esper ratings.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
No. Look. There are most religious or spiritual beliefs. You do you. I don't really care. If you want to believe in Yahweh or Allah or... I mean, the Buddha, I'm pretty sure was just a dude, but the spiritual aspects of Buddha, that's fine. But if you believe that you personally have magic powers and are psychic, that's an issue for me.
Mm-hmm.
No Esper ratings.
We're going to watch just that episode 3 times in a row when we get to it.
Let's put the scene on.
Really
loop.
should. It's the episode that's...
I mean, you could certainly watch it 3 times in a row.
We have to do that episode do difference. You should definitely watch The Cage and the Menagerie together.
Done that. It's pretty cool, actually.
It is. It really is. They were brilliant. They were just... I mean, no idea what...
Work with what
It
you
was like
got.
Christopher Columbus discovering the New World, basically.
Yeah. Like
No
you're
idea.
building a genre. Like, good luck.
Like some things are going to work, some things aren't going to work. They're not Indians. We don't see the big brain people again.
So, who
As an
is
differential
Siddhartha
valve.
again? Not in Star Trek, in religion or something. Who's Siddhartha? Which one was he?
He's the Buddha. That's his prince. That's his birth name.
Okay, that's the Buddha.
Means enlightened
Yeah,
one.
it's the Herman Hesse book, I think, kind of popularized that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember reading it in high school and I forgot which religion he was associated with.
I read it in college, same thing. Yeah, but it's
I
Buddhism.
read it after college.
We all read it at different points.
For a second there, I thought you were about to say the Buddha's name was Herman.
Yes, exactly. Herman.
Yeah, this our spiritual leader, Herman.
I mean, he
It's
breaks
been
it down.
lost to history, but Jesus' actual name was Jeff.
F Christ.
It's
Jeff.
actually a great read. And everyone should read it. It's a wonderful.
Yeah, it was all right.
tale.
I liked it for sure.
It's about life for sure. I love the 3D set and the molecules in Spock's background.
It's a thing no outworlder may know.
That lion idol, lioness.
Yeah, why does he have a big statue in his quarters? Where did
The
he get
interior
it?
design of TOS was way different.
Did that fit through the door? Or did he beam that into his quarters?
And that mesh thing, that's not working. That's not aging well. The whole that would not be part of Starship decor as we understand it. I mean, in general, for example, cars were a lot more boxier back then. That's why you got a lot more boxy elements. And throughout the 80s, definitely by the 90s, they became more sleek. Boxy cars were pretty normal for the 80s.
So, is this the scene where Spock has to give him the talk? It's like, you see, Jim, when a Vulcan loves someone very much,
I've been holding it
Right.
in, man.
When a Vulcan loves another Vulcan but refuses to admit it,
No, but it's not even a specific other person. It's just like in heat.
yeah.
Or it's when you suppress your natural instincts for too long, that's what happens.
Yes, Elizabeth, to answer your question, it is in fact Valentine's Day, and we are in fact all guys, as far as I'm aware. So, yes, if that was your question, you're spot on. Nailed it.
We've had women on the show.
Yes. Briefly.
Like a couple of times there
There was
in the stream.
There was a
Yeah.
woman,
The Czech
there was a
lady will
woman
be
last
back
week.
next week.
Someone last week writing a term paper or something, right?
Yes.
Mm.
Oh, that was Hannah, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna need to get her to send us that paper. I want that paper.
Yeah.
I need closure on that for sure.
It should be her next paper.
Yes, Chef Eccles, it is hard to.
Her next paper is about Sub Rosa.
Oh. That'll get
She
your
lived with
PhD.
ritual. And
how to not make an episode of Star Trek.
He writes a
I'll
philosophical
never
paper about Sub
understand.
Rosa.
I'll never understand why the Vulcans are so obsessed with ritual as a logical species. I would think logical generally translates to pragmatic.
True. But the premise is that because they came from the Romulans, and also another premise of that is that Romulans are much more passionate than we are. So their anger is more violent, let's just say, and their, lust, let's say, is more passionate. And so
But-
their hatred,
Well,
their jealousy, their envy. So suppressing all that is even harder for Vulcans. We can't
Yeah,
even
I mean, they mentioned the Sarek episode of Next Generation that Vulcan emotions are pretty potent stuff.
intense, yeah.
Though I do have to add, but actually, Romulans came from Vulcan.
Yes.
True.
Those who march
Don't
beneath the
don't
raptor's
they just
wings.
say they have a common ancestor or something?
No,
But they're the same
they're a common species, and then what?
During
3,000
the time
years
of
ago or
Surak,
so?
there was a big civil war, and the Romulans left
Aye.
Vulcan.
They like
the
the
Romulans
Vulcans
that left,
have
okay,
philosophy
yeah.
of Surak, of wisdom and logic, and the Romulans decided to go off-world and be savages.
Have none of that.
Wait, did
Ancient
Spock say
dragon.
11 years? Did he say 11?
Too strong.
Yeah, it should be 7.
I didn't hear a specific time, but maybe I missed it.
Yes, Elizabeth, if you care to ask the actual question, you are free to do so. I mean, whether we
Mike,
answer or not, that's going to depend on the question. But
when's the last time? Never mind.
you can answer that for yourselves if you want, but let's. Perhaps
I
we should
think I'm
not
coming
get
up
stuck on that point.
Did Spock say 11 years?
God, we're going to the star, then Vulcan, then the star, then Vulcan again. Come on, make up your mind. Where are we flying?
It's just they're watching Pong on the radar.
Oh, there's a.
Wow.
Was that computer made of tape? That looked like duct tape.
Like the TNG episode yesterday, they warp right back to where they started. Oh man, that duct tape was smashed. Cardboard was smashed.
Do you mean the view screen or the computer?
The computer.
View
Okay.
screen.
This is it. The view screen with the blue just looks like blue gaffer tape to me.
No, he meant the Spock with one fist destroyed a terminal.
Yeah, I think that was, if it wasn't duct tape, it looked like it. Yeah, it was just like rough components.
Wait, what?
But yeah, I think the blue
Wait,
tape around
hang
it
on,
does.
real quick while it's on camera. Why are there a bunch of skulls in the background?
I think they're human
Because
evolution
his name
skulls.
is
by the way.
Bones.
Okay.
Hey.
All right, continue.
And that does look like blue electrical tape basically around that terminal, around that view screen. I thought William Shatner had blue eyes. He doesn't. It's like hazel.
Elizabeth has asked a difficult question. What's the best thing you could hear from a lady in a text? Probably.
Oh.
I'm stopping by Taco Bell on my way over. Do you want anything?
I found your keys.
It's a pretty good one.
Right, and
He would be, I found your keys.
and then, do you want to watch Star Trek 6 and eat Taco Bell?
That would be good.
Are we trying to give actual dating advice now? Is that the question that's asked? Because I don't know if I have any.
I'm just answering.
I would say we're off the
Yeah,
rails.
I
but
don't know.
We're never on the rails, so I
Yeah.
don't know.
The rails don't exist. This is just all off road. Why does why does he have so many weapons? Why do he have
one of my
like a
favorite
sword
movies
and
was
axe?
Tenet. That I would love to hear from a woman.
Actually,
But,
have you seen the movie Wrongfully Accused with Leslie Nielsen?
Yes.
The scene where the train is hunting down Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar,
the
but if
train
you would care to tell
jumps
us about it.
off of the track, follows Leslie Nielsen through the woods, disappears, hides behind a tree, leans over, honks its horn, and continues to chase Leslie Nielsen further
Okay.
for like another 30 seconds.
Good.
That is this show. That is the show.
And if you wanted to send them a text, you could be like, "Hey, that thing you did, I'm so proud of you for doing it. You did a good job." I don't know.
Rachel Roddenberry's blonde.
I
don't know.
I can't speak for any other guys in that. My taste in movies is probably weird, but
That's definitely a wig, though. Regardless of whether or not she's blonde, that is not her hair.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, she's not blonde. They put the blonde wig on her because when Roddenberry cast her for the role of number 1 in the Cage, the network really did not like her, and Roddenberry wanted to sneak her into the show anyway, so he put a blonde wig on her so she wouldn't look as obviously the same.
So that Taco Bell answer I gave before, I was only half joking. I think that would be pretty good, but you can vary the restaurant depending on what they want. Yeah, it's like just I'm bringing food over. That's pretty good.
The Four Locos taco.
But I think the real answer is it really depends on the circumstances of your relationship.
Yeah, who are you texting? What are they like? How long have you been together? What's the deal?
Yeah.
You had me at Star Trek 6.
Yeah, like I think and you joke, but I think probably most of us have dated girls who aren't super into Star Trek, and like them being able to and willing to accommodate our interests and watch Star Trek with us is a big deal. So,
like a Ferengi and a Klingon, engage with each other's cultures and interests.
Right. Yeah.
See, it all comes back around.
Yeah.
It rhymes. It all rhymes.
Rule number 16: start with the Parmok episode when you do the Trek watch along on your first.
Don't start with Sub Rosa.
Why not?
No.
And if you're trying to attract a nerdy guy, yeah, for sure. Bring food and offer to watch Star Trek together. For sure.
But wait, Sulu and Chekhov don't look happy. Like, they have such little screen time on this episode.
Oh, look, she's blurry.
Because later, obviously, Sulu, George Takei and William Shatner kind of feud.
How did I know her name was T'Pring before he said it? I've never rewatched this.
Why are they not on Vulcan yet? You know, like...
Because they keep turning around. They're like doing donuts in space.
And now they're a Vulcan, and there's 4 minutes left of the episode. Timing was different back then.
See, people ask me, why am I gay? And I tell them because all these women are blurry and clearly covered in Vaseline. And that is just... I can't.
That makes sense.
Being covered in Vaseline could be a good thing, depending.
You generally don't want to cover
disconcerting.
someone's face in Vaseline. That seems counterproductive. That seems difficult.
Yeah. Talk about smearing someone.
Oh, there's some glitter on the ground. Did someone like break a window near here? What's going on? Can you see on the higher resolution if anyone's watching remastered what that is? Because I just see the ground is sparkly.
It's so sparkly.
I mean, it
The
kind of looks
remastered
like
version is completely different.
It's not
Yeah,
sparkly?
if it wasn't Vulcan, I would say there was snow on some mountain peaks.
Yeah.
It looks like when people get done to their ceilings, the popcorn ceiling, they did on the floor.
To deaden
I think,
sound.
okay, the typo of movie for move is amazing in chat right now. But that is excellent advice also.
For like 4 minutes of screen time, it's a great
Like-
set. Like, they did a really great job doing this Vulcan ceremony.
Yeah. It's like Vulcan Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Movie for move, that was my thing, and I didn't even notice it till you pointed it out. So, I just said, don't be afraid. Yeah, if you're trying to date a nerdy guy, don't be afraid to make the first move. I put make the first movie, and it's like, oh god, that's a whole other.
That's very different.
Maybe save making movies together until you
But
have a more established relationship.
That's a good
You
rule.
can't.
yeah, I mean,
but
especially
no,
if the
what
guy shows any signs of having social anxiety, he's not going to make the first move.
Oh,
Even
totally.
no matter how bad he wants to.
You got to be the first one to hit the gong.
One of my best friends in college was trying to date this guy that we both knew, who was a nerdy guy who was into Star Trek and that kind of thing. And she was, I said, make the first move, like, because he probably likes you, but he's not gonna take that step. And yeah, it turned out he really liked her. He did for quite a while, like a year.
I think
I never made
there's
the first.
a strong expectation that a guy will make the first move, and that really bites
weird.
shy men, because like if the expectation is strong enough that people will assume that you're not into them if you don't make the first move.
Right, and it's not, circumstances vary, but it's like it was kind of, they didn't really know each other, and it was kind of a cold situation where I suspected even if he liked her, he wasn't going to do anything. But yeah, I mean, if it's someone you interact with and get comfortable with, making the first move isn't as intimidating, even if you are kind of introverted. But yeah, it's just, that would be my biggest piece of advice for really anyone who might be interested in someone who might be a little introverted.
Yeah.
See, I stand by the first. Good.
For you,
I was going to say, I stand by the way it was originally written on there, because I'm sorry, if you don't have a 20 million greenlit deal, I'm not interested.
Okay.
Oh, that's what you think movie meant in that.
Yeah,
Those
no,
outfits-
he actually meant movie. You have to make a movie. I
Those
want
outfits
at
that
least
the
initial
people are wearing
casting.
look very Romulan.
That typo is my legacy in this group, apparently.
Okay.
I feel like this woman shows up in Star Trek motion picture at the beginning.
I don't know about that, but I know she's in Enterprise as a young T'Pau.
Also, that guy who just walked by without the helmet on, he was originally going to be cast for Spock.
This is his consolation prize.
That guy. Yeah. I remember that guy.
Spock's mate looking pretty Halle Berry.
Yeah, those helmets look very like Romulan Centurion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Has anybody read the 50 Years of Star Trek book?
I have not.
It's a series of 2 books. The first one is basically everything leading up to the creation of Star Trek all the way through the TOS movies. And then the second book is everything up until basically the end of Enterprise. And so, yeah, they talk all about like how they brought up Spock, the other actor that could have played him, and all that stuff. I think they even talked about Sub Rosa at one point, that they were happy with it. Then again, I mean, if you listen to Neil and guy who plays Harry, I mean, they both like Threshold.
She's sitting on a nice sofa, divan. Yeah, Vulcan lady, T'Pol.
I don't think "How does thee pledge" is correct. I think it should be "How dost thou."
Shh, don't worry, it's a Vulcan.
Vulcan Old English is different than Earth Old English.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's actually. I've heard that phrasing too. I think.
Are these like?
Yeah, it's not as not Shakespeare in English for sure, but.
So are these New King James edition Vulcans?
Sure. Yeah, this is the excellent display of Vulcan logic and pragmatism.
I know how to use thou, but I don't know the difference between thee and thou.
Why dost thou bringeth thine friends unto me?
Yeah, in Shakespearean English, thee is object, thou is subject.
Oh.
I give it to thee, or thou givest to me.
Wasn't thou informal too? Or
yes,
I don't really know.
Thou is the informal.
I just read Hamlet.
And you is formal.
So similarly to Romance languages, yeah, thou is both singular and informal. It's singular informal. So you is either plural or formal.
Which is, and I learned about that because German.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have do and z, informal or formal.
We abandoned the z.
Yeah, we streamlined a lot.
Spock?
Yeah. She will choose her champion.
I bet she chooses fake Spock.
He's not that hot.
Yeah, but he's not wearing a helmet, so he's distinct. He's the only man here who's not. And I'm guessing she's not choosing Kirk and Bones. That seems unlikely.
Her hair is like 3 wigs, like 4 wigs, really. So it's like a weave around her head, and then a straight hair weave on top of that, and then 3 braids.
She was way more chill in Enterprise. She's all stuffy these days.
She also acquired an accent somewhere.
Excuse me, T'Pau, it's thou dost bring, not thee does bring. Jeez.
Yeah. Khalifi.
I think thee does is something later, because I've heard that.
It sounds wrong.
Maybe it wasn't. I was brought up Quaker, so I was probably somewhere in like some.
Is it slightly less Old
portrayal
English?
of like classical Quakers, and because they made a point of calling everyone thee, and I think at that point the grammar was to say thee instead of thou ever.
Thou willst choose thine champion.
Yeah, you have a good KGV English, Ryan.
I
just want
like
to point
reading
out
Shakespeare.
how wonderful I think these sets look. Like they're obviously working within a budget, but I don't know. I just love the look of these.
You do
Seriously?
believe you're on an alien
Wait,
planet for sure.
She chose Kirk?
Da.
She doesn't even know Kirk. Why?
The red of the sky is done really well against the backdrop of the
It's just
set.
the whole color temperature of this is just phenomenal.
It is.
Oh no, he's shaking the bells. That's not intimidating.
You know,
Why would
like
she want
this,
to choose Kirk?
this
She's
template
not
for
picking a
Vulcan.
mate. She's picking the champion to fight.
This template for Vulcan really holds up for the next 50 years. You know, you're right. They did do a fantastic job.
Yeah. I'm not
Everyone
entirely sure what the
remember-
contest is. Like, if Kirk wins, I know if Spock wins, Spock marries her. But what happens if Kirk wins?
Then Kirk marries her.
But why does she want to marry Kirk?
I mean, Kirk want to marry her. You can't question these things.
They're illogical right now. Don't worry.
Excuse me, to Pring. It's thou speaketh.
It's true. They didn't even bat an eye when she said Kirk. Like, Kirk has no business in this
Yeah, can
ceremony.
Kirk just refuse?
like,
You
in the
can't
context
force
of
someone
this-
to fight to the death and marry you.
In the context of this, he's just some guy.
She likes blondes, huh?
Does everyone remember the first TOS episode they saw? I don't know if this is my first, but it was definitely one of the first.
Me too.
Art thou Vulcan? Or art thou human? Jesus, thou. Come on.
Obviously,
think,
they're speaking
the-
Old Vulcan, and it's just a bug in the Universal Translator.
Okay. I mean, if you're going to be
Balance
all
of terror.
weird and stuffy and dramatic about it, at least you could use the proper old grammar. Jeez.
I think Balance of
I
Terror.
do hate that when people imitate Old English and don't know the grammar. Just, I am humorless that way. It bothers me.
Old English is not what people are imitating. Old English is a very different
Oh
language.
yeah, that's true too.
Shakespearean English.
Shakespearean English.
Early
Yeah, yeah.
modern.
Right.
Early
Right.
modern.
That's
Yeah,
it.
it's modern English. I forgot about that.
Late middle or early modern.
Yeah, Old English is effectively one small step off from German.
Yeah.
Old English is also
Also the
cheap.
Dutch, isn't it?
It's about like $2 for 40 ounces or something.
Ooh, you
Dutch-
get a belt.
Dutch is a crazy language. It's like if German and English had a very odd baby.
You know, and it's literally between the nexus of the two. Like many times, especially also during the Protestant Reformation, there was reformers in the Netherlands, and they were
Thine
training
place.
the people, setting them back. Even with Brexit, the Netherlands is thought to be like the next country to think about exiting the European Union. So they've always been like on the continent, but off the continent, just like Britain.
So yeah, if Kirk says no, then Spock just fights fake Spock. And but he won't say no because he thinks fake Spock will kill Spock. I wouldn't count Spock out though. Because real
By the
Spock
way-
is like in a bloodlust right now.
Yeah.
And if you wind up with the Vulcan woman, can you handle the lust? Like, I think I'd be broken in two, you know, just from.
Yeah, I think it's a Paul too. I can fiddle. I was going to
It's like
say
the-
during some of your discussion, your mic was cutting out, but I assume it was just your trying to kill itself because you were discussing European politics.
So is it true that if Kirk wins, he can just refuse to marry her? Because yeah, that would make sense if she's doing that. She wants Kirk to win and refuse to marry her so she doesn't have to marry anyone.
Yeah, but then Spock's dead.
I mean, apparently she doesn't care that much.
I'm just saying it's not like a happy ending.
This episode has a lot more time left.
Of the woman to bring. Where did you pick up this accent about? You didn't have this accent when you were younger.
Shh, don't worry about it.
And the camera's like cocked to the side when Spock's in frame.
The Lirpa?
Like 90 degrees.
Little known fact: Spock is actually Dutch,
Okay.
so he
Seems
likes
a
the angle.
hugely impractical weapon.
I mean, everything the Vulcans do apparently is impractical. Couldn't you just talk this out? Say, I don't want to marry Spock, and then they're like, okay, we're not going to get married. Solved it.
Maybe it's like how with the English they're very proper, but their humor is very ridiculous. So they're very logical, but then they always have to act out so they can get that out, and then they go back to being logical.
Dating tip 15. Do not force people to get married who don't want to. Jeez.
Don't involve a battle to the death if you can avoid it.
Yes, rule number 16. Don't kill someone because you don't want to marry them.
Maybe like 15A.
I don't know. That was my
15B,
wedding.
Don't fight your
kill?
best friend to death over a girl.
Really anything.
The piano player. It really sucked is I already paid him.
I mean, surely you could just take the money back if he's dead.
I Venmo'd it. It was the whole thing.
God, I don't know what's with the bells. The bells are not intimidating.
They do a good job of lighting up her face. I think they like shined a mirror on her. Just show some.
They clearly had some kind of.
There's some strong front lighting. It's not natural light at all. It's not wrapping around the sides.
Yeah, but it lets the actresses like emotion out. Like she's so fantastic, and being like a severe judge of the.
It's so obviously not William Shatner.
How come Spock gets the purple?
Oh yeah,
But
not even a little bit.
Painfully obvious.
I mean, it's a little harder to tell on my version.
But
He's
still
the
possible.
Ponfar pageant recipient.
God, the scene's so good.
So how could Spock be losing at all if he's 3 times stronger?
Yeah.
And how did that just break? They like slightly tapped it against a rock. That thing's made of metal.
I mean, just be grateful we're not watching the porn.
They set up that Spock is not in good shape at the moment because of his condition. So, like, maybe that's part of the reason why he's losing.
I mean, he was perfectly capable of smashing a computer screen with his fist.
But that was just made of duct tape.
It's like unfocused rate, maybe? Like unfocused strength. I don't know.
Why are we stopping?
Because we don't want to chop off Jim Kirk's head.
Can spectators call timeout?
Apparently.
He's a doctor. I mean, like a boxing match, you have the doctor can intervene.
Troika.
Thou mayest proceed.
Is Spock stuck? I think he's stuck.
He's
Frozen.
really going with the rules where you have to freeze in place when timeout is called. He's playing freeze tag.
He's the best
Music was
red
really
light, green light player on the ship.
Yeah, that's red light, green light, freeze tag. These are all derivatives of Vulcan games for sure.
Exactly.
See, that's what I like about these streams. You learn things.
Hang on, Kirk, you have to freeze in place. Get back down there. Kirk's just
these
cheating
guys are
now.
They shake
Just-
these weird abacuses, and it's a whole procedure.
When in a fight, call timeout, take steroids, resume.
Now they have to use those as garrots to kill each other? What's going on?
It's like that TNG episode where they show the African culture fighting to the death with Tasha Yar.
With the weird spiked gauntlets?
Yeah.
We don't talk about that episode.
Yeah, the one we don't talk about.
Because it's horribly racist, or
Yeah,
If
it,
Cat
it just
doesn't talk about that show, we
What
don't
do
talk
you
about
mean? The accents were totally accurate.
There'll be no vaccine. Well, you're gonna burn him to death, Spock? That's Jesus.
Makeup is great too. The Vulcan woman, like the eyeshadow and everything.
This is a really long fight. Oh, the
This is a
music's
good
cutting out. Are we
episode.
good? Kroika.
This is a good episode if you want to get someone who's not into Star Trek, like first into Star Trek. Do you think?
No, what?
No.
What do you
I mean,
mean?
It's
Like
very
if I ever
motivating.
if I have a friend who doesn't like Star Trek, but I kind of want to introduce them to it. This would
I mean,
not
I
be
guess
a
it
good
depends. Does your friend like two out of shape guys slowly brawling?
I mean, maybe in this hypothetical, I don't know, but yeah, it's a great episode. It's probably one of my favorite episodes, but I'm just wondering if it's accessible to, if you guys think it's accessible to someone who doesn't.
Probably not.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. It's a tough question because there's 700
now-
hours of alternatives.
That was correct of
Right.
T'Pau. Grieve with thee. That was the correct use of thee. Thank you, T'Pau. For once in your life, you used the right form.
Maybe Star Trek First Contact is just the easiest Trek content to like, just because it's enough action and
That's very possible. I agree with
just-
that. Yeah, that's a-
I mean, it
that's a
also
good
grows
one.
the most of all the movies for a reason, right? So
Yeah, people have said like Star Trek 4 is kind of a good jumping off.
Yeah,
yeah.
that one. Except it's weird for Star Trek though. Like Star Trek First Contact is more Star Trek-y than Star Trek 4 is.
No, Trek
I
4
like-
is definitely quintessential Trek though, because you got a lot of laughs too.
Yeah, it's like if you come in obviously not knowing all the previous stuff for sure, but
Yeah.
also just in terms of like being an accessible, enjoyable movie. Yeah, Star Trek 4.
Yeah, 4 is good though. Yeah,
Nobody
true.
dies. Nobody even fights each other. You get a nice little social message, or
Yeah, it
About
all
saving
takes
the
place in the
whales.
80s pretty much. I mean,
Environment.
it's
save the environment.
Respect for whales.
I watched
whales are pretty cool.
Star Trek 6 with someone who had never seen anything previous Star Trek, and they really enjoyed that. Obviously, some of the
6
stuff
is good.
makes sense, but the
6
humor,
is a solid movie.
it's really funny. Like the humor is
Oh
very,
god, yes.
Oh.
The scene with the Klingon dictionaries is amazing.
yeah, or McCoy throughout. My friend's comment was basically like McCoy was the funniest person,
That was a
Quite
good
great.
burn by Spock. I see no logic in choosing this other man over me. That's amazing, Spock. Thank you. I need to use that line more.
Oh no. Not
If someone
motion
goes
picture.
to you,
Yes.
if someone goes to you because they met someone else, just message them.
Definitely an
I
even
see no logic in choosing
definitely
Phil
goes an
over
even
me.
numbered movie.
It's called not accepting the breakup, but okay.
What do you mean? If
If
you
you're
don't
being
accept the
broken up with-
breakup, then you're not broken up with. Easy.
I see no logic in picking that guy.
I see no logic in breaking up with me. Therefore, we're still together.
Haven't done the Ponfar. That's when I break my 7-year streak.
Is he just telling her that guy actually sucks and you're gonna regret dating him?
Pretty much, yeah.
He's like, you want it.
Somehow, T'Pring is way less blurry in these wide shots.
He's definitely Vaseline up though.
You can see wrinkles and
Is it canon that T'Pring isn't actually blurry in the real world? That can't be right.
No. Yeah, but you're right though. They blurred the back.
Spoilers. Kirk isn't actually dead, but I haven't actually seen this. How is he not dead?
This is one of the
I think
episodes,
I
one of
know.
many episodes where they just cure death.
No, when Bones gave
No,
him
I
the
think I know what it is.
Triox compound, he actually gave him a sedative.
Yes. That's what I assume it is, yeah.
Okay, just knocked him out.
Sedative?
That it wasn't actually
Yeah,
a,
sedative.
it was a good plan.
Oh, so he didn't kill him. He just choked the life out of him.
No, I think Bones knocked him out. I think it wasn't actually a steroid.
Oh, this is the thing where he
Yeah,
gets
why
super
both
excited,
happen to
isn't
have
it?
that concoction on hand? I don't know.
Oh, hang on. Spock's about to be so happy right now.
Those mini skirts are really high up, by the way.
Jim!
That's so awesome. Jim!
Jim!
Totally.
That's pretty great.
He's still coming down from the pond far. Actually, how is he not struggling from the pond far? Because he hasn't actually been with anyone.
Right.
He just knocked out
I
Craig.
know when you kill somebody, it cancels Ponfar.
So it's literally bloodlust. In every sense of the word.
You just gotta ride the withdrawal symptoms, and then you're good.
Oh, they put the computer back together. Well, it's someone else's, I guess.
You cannot be among civilization while you're going through it.
How romantic.
It's like a crocodile on the wall.
God, now what do they want? Starfleet Command is so needy. Oh, that solved itself. Of course.
Coy with the best lines.
In a pig's eye.
Awesome. Perfect.
We did it. We got through Valentine's Day.
Look
At
for
least a
love
few
in all
hours
the
of
wrong places.
And it's only 3:22 p.m. where I am, but
Yeah, same
Oh.
here.
Boo.
Ryan, are you California or where are you?
California.
Okay, roughly. I'm not going to stalk you. Wherever.
Hey.
He's
Yes,
in the
no
south.
I'm
stalking.
Los
Well,
Angeles.
my exact address is.
I'm like West Los Angeles myself. So
If
yeah.
you stalk, you will get no vaccine. So there's the cat. There's a cat, not the cat, but it's a cat. We could bring the cat back, but that will be up to Herr Deutschland.
They've both wandered off.
Okay. So let's see what next week's episodes are. TNG Season 4. Let me look that up. It's going
Ooh,
to
I think
be... Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah,
Galaxy's
isn't it?
Child.
I think
With Leah Brahms and Geordi.
yeah.
I could not be missing out on a better series of episodes.
Night Terrors with Eyes in the Dark, One Moon.
Okay.
And Identity Crisis, which I think is the one where Geordi like transforms into some kind of creature.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
very
wow.
spooky.
Oh yeah.
He-
Okay.
He turns into a bodysuit alien.
Yeah, it's a spooky episode.
I was legitimately frightened when I first saw that as like a kid.
I
That
could
was one
see
of the
that.
first
Pretty cool.
TNG episodes I saw. I'd seen little bits of it on TV before that one. It was very spooky.
And then for Deep Space Nine, we're doing rules of engagement.
The courtroom
Hard Time
episode
and
with the
Chapter.
Klingons. Hard
Yeah,
Time,
Worf
which
is
we're
a-
definitely going to need DB for. Yep. DB for the
Worf-
psychology.
Worf is accused of committing crimes
Wait,
against civilian war crimes.
Hang on, look at that cat. Look how that cat is looking at the other cat's plane. It's like, what are you doing? Also, that cat has a lazy eye.
Uzbeki. Aw.
And then finally, we have Hard Time.
There we go.
Well, Hard Time is the second episode.
Hey, Herr Deutschland got a cat back. Very beautiful.
And then Shattered
I
Mirror,
convinced
which is
him to come
alternate
back.
Universe.
Shattered Mirror is the one where Cisco's dead wife dies again.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be a double dead wife.
Did you convince with treats?
Actually, you
kinda
kind of
like
just
what
call his
Mike
name
brought
and he'll show up.
Oh wow, good kitty.
It's a good cat. Yeah, Hard Time's a fun episode. It might be the darkest episode in all of Star Trek. So that should be good. Yeah.
Thank you, Elizabeth, in the chat. You were so helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Any-
Mr. Orchland of the cats.
Any
What's the
final
big
thoughts
kitty's
on the
name?
episodes we've seen?
This is Shadow.
It's like Homeward Bound.
I
And
miss my
thank you,
black cat.
Gyrinx, Michael.
He's
Joe
a Russian blue.
Why are we?
He
What,
fell
what,
in.
what did I
Ooh.
do? You're
And
welcome.
the I can't have cheeseburger cat.
Thanks for making it a wonderful show.
Aw.
Thank you, Ryan.
We'll see you all next week.
Kitty.
But
See
you
you
will
next
leave me
week.
now, as I require
guys.
solitude.
This is the best Valentine's Day I've had in a long time.
Auf Wiedersehen,
Aw.
I gotta go get my marinated chicken out of the fridge and cook up some rice and have a lovely dinner.
Okay, have a good dinner. Bye.
Sounds good. That's it.
Gator Gators.